Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for another episode of Void. If you are confused about what might happen tonight, it's because we released another episode on the internet. It's over on our YouTube. So feel free to watch this one, then go back in time and catch up. Do whatever you want to do. Yeah, so we recorded that offline to make up for the missed episode last week. So we're going to do a little bit of a time jump to where we are now, which is going to be super fun. That being said, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, check out the Patreon link down below for all kinds of behind-the-scenes exclusives. And while you're down there, hit that Discord link. Come join us. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. Talk about this game, all the other games. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, Dot gets whatever the hell she wants to us. And two, every single dollar that goes into that bar goes back to these wonderful, amazing faces that you see here before you. I think that's it. Dot, take us to space.
Wait. Sorry, Dad. I need to intrude. I thought Paul was here because I saw the screen and I'm like, wait, how is he? And I keep looking like, is my setup wrong? Is he in a different window? I hate you, Mike.
Love this.
I miss you, Paul.
Paul's in chat. He's here.
I know. I see you, buddy.
But I'm so distracted by that.
Right everyone, pour a little out for Paul. Just pour a little
Cheers,
out.
Cheers, mate. We miss you.
We definitely talked about that as a group.
Definitely brought that up.
No, I know we did. It's just I completely blanked it, and then I saw it, and I was just like, "What is? What happened? Oh crap!"
I'm so glad.
Okay, Dot. I'm sorry. Please
no,
continue.
that it was a valid point that needed to be made. Please, everyone, look at the timey-wimey bullshit that is that gif of Paul, because Paul popped up in chat, and I was like, wait a second. I even had to double take a minute. No tricking. No tricking us. Well, speaking of tricks, guess what? The Third Horizon is screwed, because last week.
Aww.
Meaning yesterday, because we made up for the show like a week late. What we learned, and I'm going to do a slight recap for those of you that missed last week, because there was a big-ass lore dump, and I'm sorry about that. The good news is no major action happened with the crew to say, if you missed, you can't watch tonight. So if you missed our recorded episode that we released yesterday, or I guess we released today, you would know that they were on Coriolis prepping to leave. Their plan was to take the long way around to the system of Uharu, which bumps up next to Tawin. Now, Tawin, of course, is this lost dark system that they visited in Season 1 to their dismay, and I would say by the luck and love of the Icons, they made it home to Coriolis from that place. Now, both of the portal doors that are in the Tawin system or connect to the Tawin system are under different control. One is under the control of the Consortium, which is the Hamura side, the side that all of you entered in Season 1. And the other side is currently under the control of the Order of the Pariah, who has put a vast military effort against the Consortium to take control of this system. Recently, though, the Tawin portal kind of spat out the other half of a ship that's been lost for the last year plus. And the Consortium is interested in it. And all of you have been tasked, along with another 3-person crew, to investigate this shipwreck, which they believe is actually partially on the surface of a dark side of an ice moon here in the Uharu system. So last week's episode was a little about the internal politics, what might be going on. We learned a little bit about the past of these 2 legionnaires and this agent, Yeah, everybody take a look at Tamir's face. If you thought the episode wasn't worth watching, I'm not going to tell you why his face looks like that, unless you go watch it.
Feel things. Tamir feels things.
I used a darkness bar.
Oh, did you get your broccoli?
Oh, cute. Okay. And So it is. So today's episode is going to pick up. They have arrived in the system after a very long... Oh my god, that's so cute. I thought you meant real broccoli. I was like, I didn't know dogs eat broccoli. So, we will pick up in the system of Uharu after a very strange encounter with one of the Legionnaires and a long, lonesome trip with everybody else under cryo. Tau managed to get the crew there. The decision was to try to bypass the massive blockade by kind of drifting and riding the wake of a much larger vessel. Unfortunately, at the end, they found out that they are not the only interested people in the system that might be here for the same thing that they are. And there was a little bit of a ship race, thanks to the daft engineering skills of Tamir. They were able to literally like hit the NOS button and scooter poot faster down to yeah. I want to make sure y'all are still with me. y'all are looking at chat. I want to make sure y'all still with me.
Look at scooter poot that. I can love it.
So here we are. They are blasting their way, which their 3-day trip is only going to take them 2 days. 2 days of non-cryo sleep travel. Like, you have to, like I said, you're scooter pooting across the system. So, yes, Mike, if you can be a hot dice whatever and a wet willy, I can have and be scooter pooting across this third horizon.
Listen, I'm a hot dice daddy, and I'm a wet warrior. Okay? Okay.
All right. Here we are. Tau, you have put the ship basically on autopilot. You have a single little bit of stealth, and you have very much, by a day, you have outrun this pirate crew by a day, basically, thanks to rerouting the power. That being said, the ship has to take it easy for a while. There's going to be a lot of recuperation and cooldown time of the systems from what Tamir had to do to make that a reality. But you don't think that the order is onto you in any way. You're just going to have 2 more days with this crew on this ship, knowing what you know.
Scooter poot that, really.
My brain is kind of stuck on that, to be honest.
Kind of here for it.
Well, if all of your brains are stuck, the Legionnaires are not. They pretty much spend the majority of their time in the mess hall cleaning their guns, and kind of acting kind of shifty and shady. The Farouk is a rather talkative fellow. He'll talk to pretty much anyone. Don't remember her name. Farouk and Dala. Thank you. Farouk and Dala. Dala is significantly more quiet. But well, all right. Is anybody hanging out with him, or do y'all just keep your distance? That's my question.
Oh, Alia's staying far away, for sure.
Now, I have to ask. So we kind of ended on a rather dramatic note. Did we get out?
Yes, that's so basically you, like I said, you kind of blasted free of all of that and kind of quick routed yourself a day ahead of this pirating crew, but you were not picked up on the radar. Basically,
okay, cool.
The trade was some slight, I don't want to call it damage, but downtime on the ship. You can't travel very quickly right now. You're going to be just like floating through space for a bit while the engines recover.
Okay.
But you are very, very close. You basically hit what is the actual asteroid field of this system. Uharu is made up of 2 suns. There's Uharu, which is the big sun, which is where you kind of came from. That's where the portal like revolves. And then the opposite side of the system, there's another star, a dying star, and it has an asteroid system or like massive asteroid belt that surrounds it. And you are just now passing basically through the asteroid belt. You basically nosed your way across all three of these planets right here.
Well,
Tokyo Drift.
yeah, Tal's probably sitting in the captain's chair, just kind of shaking and like trying to catch her breath from that. Yeah.
Does anybody do anything? If not, I can cause trouble.
Systems check. Always, we just did. We pushed a lot. I would like Tamir to do a systems check with Sally.
You can run like diagnostics using your technology or your science if you would like.
Yes, please.
Sally will just kind of give you some basic stuff, but if there's something you would like to see. I will also note I had them draw fresh cards, everyone. Last game, we played the Misfortune card against Malik. For the first time, the Faceless maybe was not as kind as he often is. Or they often are.
Double misfortune, I should
Double
say.
misfortune. And in addition, Lamara played the Lady of Tears song. A song was played. A 2. Hey, okay. Sally comes over, and she simply says, ship diagnostic. Engines at 98%. You can see they're like burning red. Roughly 2 hours before we can engage. We are basically at a standstill. I have exactly enough power to route to shields and stealth.
Understood. Thank you, Sally. And I'll go ahead and relay that information over to Tal. It looks like we're going to be stuck here for a little bit.
Okay. Well, we definitely don't have the power to try to pick up anything while we're here.
We could have Malik perhaps run a sensor on the atmosphere of the planet. I mean, that's what the ship was originally built for. So at least we can get some reconnaissance information or data.
I think that's way too far away.
Wait, that's way too.
I think it's way too far away.
Why
If we're at the entrance of the asteroid belt.
Yeah, you're basically right about here-ish on the map.
We need to get through here.
But you're only going to this moon set, right?
Right.
The problem is
Not
that you're
too
having to travel like slowly, basically at this point because you pushed the ship.
Yeah. Let's just go slow and steady. Try to blend in. Tal is going to attempt to kind of blend in with the debris and the rocks in the asteroid field as much as rely on the shields and the mechanical devices of the ship to disguise them.
So I would say, so your signature is reduced by 1 simply by the ship's technology itself. And you do have this armor that kind of reduces general damage. So you basically put the ship in autopilot and on like low power. You kind of direct Sally through the process and you know what? Let's see. Hang on. Is it so? Is it so? Because I want y'all to hear this. I prepped a sound for this, just for you. But I don't think I have... I prepped a sound.
It's not you making the mouth sounds.
It's not me making mouth sounds anymore. I actually prepped Well,
Put
y'all,
your
okay,
mouth
fine,
down.
all right.
Guys, it's actually Dot
Fine.
making the mouth sounds. She recorded them and then set them as a button. So that
Right, that's what I wanted. I want a
right.
Dot soundboard.
Fine. I won't press the snazzy sound cue I queued up.
No, we need that.
I'll just say, you hear Sally go, going into low power mode. Woo, 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 woo. And the whole ship, like, powers down. And everything kind of goes into dim light as the kind of yellow caution lights light up all along the edging of the walk pass along the vessel, and the overhead lights go into a dim mode. And Tal, you hear a set of feet from behind you.
Oh god.
Yep. There's a figure. He's like leaning in the frame of the hallway near the bay. I'm sorry, the like where your piloting seat and everything is. The bridge. That's the word I'm looking for. The bridge.
Yep. Farouk, hello.
He goes, "You didn't even turn around. How'd you know I was coming?"
I know my ship, and I know everybody on it, and how they sound.
Mm-hmm. He goes, "So, looks like we're stuck here for a while."
Oh, well, you know, slightly, but also I'm definitely busy.
Well, I was thinking, when we got some downtime, we like to play cards. Do y'all want to play some cards? Yeah, you and your crew. It doesn't just have to be you, but, if you want it to just be you, it can just be you. I'll be there playing cards.
All right. Well, if anybody on my crew wants to play cards, I'll let them know to.
Do you like to play cards?
Not really.
You look like the kind of person who likes to play cards.
No, because playing cards usually means I have to interact with people.
You don't like people?
Not many people.
But you like me.
I wouldn't go
It's
that
all right.
far.
You don't have to tell me. You don't have to tell me. I know.
Okay.
I know. You knew before I walked up. Hey, if you don't want to play cards, I got another bottle in my bag.
Good for you. I hope it lasts.
Well,
We're gonna be here for a while, so you know. You should ration it.
Well, it's always better to drink with people you like.
Well, you should go find someone.
Well, if you change your mind, actually roll a manipulation.
I don't have manipulation.
Just roll an empathy then. Let's see if you can get him to go the hell away. Okay.
I have limited success.
Okay. He kind of stops, and there's a moment you're like, he's gonna keep going, and goes, well, if you change your mind, and he kind of like stops leaning in the doorframe. I'm just in there.
I know.
He likes that you finger gunned.
Oh no.
He
Tal
laser
knows it's a mistake. Oh no.
It's too late. It's too late.
It's so too late.
He finger guns back, and there's a small smirk that crawls across his face. And he turns around, and you can see him kind of like mutter to himself. You don't know what he says. Actually, you can roll if you would like to know what he whispers to himself.
Oh.
That's gonna be a what is it? Observation.
Oh, I have observation.
Just spent the whole ship, says Chad.
Oh, limited success.
You barely hear. You barely hear. He turns around. And he goes, "She digs me."
Oh. And the thought crosses her mind, G. For a moment, she's very upset that she didn't let the thing go for just a moment. Oh,
So, the camera probably follows him kind of muttering to himself back into the open mess area or like mess hall or what is everybody else up to? I know Tamir is probably dealing with the engine unless you're interested in something else. Malik, I know you have some interests that don't necessarily
What?
Okay.
What?
Alia, you just want to stay away?
I think at this point she's just trying to be as diminished looking or as inconspicuous as she possibly can, which is, obviously
Okay.
she's probably failing at, but she's probably
You can do a couple things. Well, I'm gonna actually have you do things. So if you're in the room, like anywhere near them, I would like you to make a couple checks for me because
okay.
you read people better than the average person.
Okay.
First off, if you want to kind of go unnoticed, you can roll a.
It's more of like she's just not trying to interact with them. She's not really like.
Yeah, then
It's like a polite silence.
I would like an empathy check from you to roll, to see if you can read these three. There's something weird here, and your guts tell you, and you can't put your finger on it.
Just a straight empathy.
Yeah, I think so. Unless you feel like you have anything to add to it, if you have a special ability, or let's see, I don't have a character sheet up. Let me put your character sheet up. It's not manipulation because you're not doing it to someone. So I would say, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, empathy.
Mm-hmm. Oh no! Here's the thing: you can't put your finger on it. But there is a weird dynamic between the branch agent and the two legionnaires. Everybody seems like kind of normal. None of them seem like raucous pirates or like they're gonna kill you all in your sleep. They're not vicious. They clearly have some history, right? He's got this big scar across his face. They wear their scars, but the dynamic between the special agent and the legionnaires is
off.
Is off. I can't say tense either, but there's something there and you can't put your finger on it. You just know it though.
And I'll try to remember. Alia was already in cryosleep when Tal had that conversation with Lamara, right? Okay, so yeah,
I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, she wouldn't have heard that. But
okay, yeah. But she on her own is able to tell there's something off here.
Yeah.
I feel like the fact that what's the leader's name again? The lady.
Nadina.
The fact that she had sat down and prayed with her would have formed some sort of a little bit of a connection between them.
Interesting.
Considering she would have noted. Alia would definitely have noticed, and Alia
that's
was
right.
the
You
last
would
sleep.
you would then maybe have noticed. You're right. Thank you, Eris, for that correction. So you were the last in. So we'll say if you wanted to speak with her, I imagine she did not say much to you. She came in, she sat down, she prayed with you during the whole ship thing, and then she got up and left. Like there was not a whole lot of interaction. But if you wanted to seek her out, you're welcome to.
Okay. Yeah, I think she would have approached, and then considering the fact that she was the last to sleep, she would have noticed, or at least I don't know if she would have heard the conversation between Lamara and Tal, but I feel like something like she could pick something up there, and then so she'll go talk to her.
Okay.
Just kind of approach and be like, and I was thinking like she was already in the mess hall, kind of just making some snacks for people, kind of just her usual thing, just trying to be a little bit hospitable and just take it to her crew, and she probably will then take a little bit of that to Nadina as well.
Okay. You can see she's watching the two legionnaires. One of them has pulled out a deck of cards, and he's shuffling them. It looks like they're going to pass the time with some cards. She seems like she may join them, but again, she keeps her distance, and she notes you. I'm guessing you're wearing your mask?
Yeah.
She gestures for you to sit down, not off-put by you, though she does note your size as you stand as she sits.
Hello.
Hi.
Apologize if I am disturbing you. Would you like some snacks? Something to eat? Since we're
Oh.
stuck here anyways.
I guess, she kind of says and shrugs her shoulders. Not much in the mood for food. Really thinking about the job.
I mean, we're not going anywhere anytime soon. We're not even at the exact spot we need to be, so it would do us some good to have a little bit of a relaxed moment, I would say.
I guess so. If you're offering, I have no reason to turn it down. Plus, he's just going to continue drinking. You can see he's already got the other bottle. And he's pouring himself in the other legionary glass. She's like, I guess I could use some food with all that alcohol.
That would probably be best. Do you mind if I ask you something?
I guess that depends on what you ask.
Well, are you okay?
If by okay do you mean that I want to be here, or that things are well in my life, or that I'm healthy? There are yeses to some of those questions.
Well, I mean, in whatever way you're comfortable talking. Just in general, are you okay?
Roll a manipulation check.
Okay. I have nothing.
So
I'll
that
just
would be an
spit, yeah.
empathy. An empathy check. Okay.
Pain.
She stiffens a little bit, and she says, as much as I would love to tell you whatever it is you're looking for, it's not going to help.
I mean, I wasn't seeking anything in particular. I just noticed you seem to be a little bit out of it, and considering that we're all on this mission together, I tend to be the one that tries to make sure my crew, no matter how temporary it is doing their best. And that's all it was. Just me making sure that you were okay. I just also want to say thank you for sitting down with me earlier for the prayer. It was nice to have company.
Your shipmates do not pray with you.
Not as often as I'm sure they would like, if they want to. I mean, it is
Are y'all
a
busy,
very busy.
then? Often?
I mean, busy doing odd jobs. Yes, we are a ship that collects junk and
It's a
sells them.
dangerous time to do odd jobs.
I'm just a priestess.
Looks you up and down, your mask. I bet you are.
Mm-hmm.
Squints a little bit. As long as everything goes according to plan, we'll be fine. That's all I care about. You all seem like good folk.
Well, I have come to care for the people I'm here with. And
Though it does seem odd that they would send 4 of you to do this job.
why do you say that?
Well, it's a rather dangerous one.
I mean, we've seen quite a few similar situations in the past.
Yeah, but none of you are soldiers. None of you align yourselves with any factions. You spend your time as mercenaries on this strange junk ship, but yet you've got extremely high and expensive technology attached to the outside. Your doctor, she looks crazy, but she wears a uniform. She's probably well trained.
Oh, without a doubt.
And what would a crew like this need a priestess for? Are they really that bad?
I think everybody needs some sort of a anchor in life, I would say. Someone to know that takes care of them, that cares for them. And
I see. Then she kind of like looks you up and down. Protector.
I mean, whatever way I can. As you can see, I don't really carry many things to protect with. So I'm not sure how well I am equipped for such a job.
You and I both know you're fully equipped of handling yourself if need be. You're twice my size. And I'm wearing a suit. And she's got like giant pauldrons on. She said, "You are soft-spoken and kind of heart, I can tell. But you're a bad liar."
Some have their proficiencies, some don't.
Well, I would suggest that you stick to protecting people.
Fair enough. But
Thank you for the tea. Is that what you made?
yeah,
Yeah.
snacks, some just some biscuits and some tea. Whatever she could. I don't know if we have any actual
She
food
says,
that we can
"Do
make.
you play cards?"
Ah, in my travels, I've learned a few tricks.
She goes, "Well, they can't play with just the two of them. Would you like to join us? Any of the rest of your crew? Maybe you could make a few burr. Since you are just junk traders after all."
I'm not one to bet on things, but if you would like to just play for fun, I wouldn't mind.
Nobody
Not
plays
sure.
for fun. Making money is fun. Plus, I can't imagine that this tea is cheap.
It's a specialty. Once in a while, a treat.
Well, then the least you can do is try to take my money from me. It's a specialty. Yeah, you're about to like die or pass out and waiting for KP to be like, "So about that tea, I spike it.
I mean,
Okay.
why do you
so,
think I'm so calm? I'm
So
kidding, I'm
what
kidding.
is Malik doing?
Why are you asking it like that, Dot?
I need to know what Malik is up to, as well as Tamir. Tamir, if you are just chilling,
Malik is minding his own goddamn business. He's never been one to stick his nose where it doesn't belong or any kind of lascivious act here. He's just a good space boy who works at Space Spy. He's not in fact sure why he's even on this crew. No, he is in the engine room with Tamir. Plotting. I mean, having a brotherly conversation about nothing important at all.
well, this conversation that doesn't actually exist is picked up by our camera.
What?
What? No, no, nope. Just they just see two sweaty, hot-looking dudes.
That's true.
In the engine room.
That's true. You do
All
see
right, I'm
two
taking
sweaty
this
hot
scene
dudes.
back. I'm taking this scene back. The
I-
camera does not see this.
Two brothers.
Plotting
no,
to
it's-
revenge.
One reactor.
I think.
God.
I think for a while it's a tense scene, right? There was an exchange of knowing looks, not even glances. They were well placed looks. And at first, I think Malik just shows up and just grabs a tool and sees what Tamir is doing and then just follows suit. Not sure if it's helping or not, but for sure is like, tightening something down. There's gonna be straps involved, but I think it's just like aggressive masculinity, right? Where like it's just very angry and we have to do work.
Yes, and it's not even. There's no way that it's actual work.
Yeah.
Right. It's like I swear Tamir strips like something that didn't need to be rebolted down, but he is just doing a very repetitive motion aggressively.
Yeah, it is if either of us did fitness, which I mean I guess Tamir does now. It's
Tamir
the
does
equivalent
now.
like we like working out or like punching the speed bag or something. But we don't have that on the ship, so we're making do with fixing things in the engine room or allegedly fixing them.
You're sea wrenching it up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of like noises coming from of wrenches being pulled. A lot of grunts.
Does anything break the manly silence that is your brooding?
Is it brooding? I don't know that it's brooding.
It is. There's so much brooding, and
I don't know that it's brood. I think it's
aggressive.
It's definitely
brooding.
It's definitely aggressive for sure. Yeah,
The Tamir is brooding.
Yeah,
like
it's Malik is in a place right now where he isn't he isn't in control of the moment because he can't be.
Okay.
Because he knows that he's not allowed to do what he wants to do to these people on the ship.
Okay.
So he's at a disadvantage here, where like usually in his head he thinks he controls most scenes, and he's now been told in so many words not to, regardless of that person having the entire story. So he's in space, like floating, like not even somewhere cool, like on a fucking station. We're literally just in space, so my resources are extremely limited. So he's thinking. To counter Tamir's brood, he is pensive, aggressively.
And Tamir can't think,
aggressively
and
pensive.
he doesn't like that. There is something clouding his thought and his judgment, and it disturbs him. And the two of them just radiate such good energy.
Like if you could just put us in the reactor, we could power the ship to the moon.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, around the sun and back.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is the brooding is not ever broken. The two of
Unless
you kind
someone
of
breaks
work in
it.
Shared great.
Yeah.
Okay,
How long
that's
do
my
you
question.
Go?
That's my question. Because
After a while, Tal's gonna be like, "Are you okay?"
I think that's what would need to happen.
So
Something
you
needs to break
hear-
it.
You hear the sound of feet.
Oh no,
Malik, you hear a very specific set of feet that you know all too well, and a voice. It's like Malik. It is most definitely your girlfriend.
Great. That's just who I need right now.
She like runs into the reactor room, no doubt, which is like steamy and under like low amber light from the low power of the ship.
Yeah.
And the two of you are there brooding and sweaty.
Yeah.
and
Everything
working on
kind of
this-
glistens like a new Neverwinter game.
Great. So, like the slow motion volleyball scene in Top Gun, she like rounds the corner and stops and goes, cards. They're playing cards.
Who's playing cards?
The people with us.
Oh,
Do you have what are y'all doing down here?
Tamir?
Just making sure everything is ready to go once the reactors cool down.
Cool down, yeah. Y'all look cool. Would you
This
like
is
to
Dot
play
flirting in real life.
some cards? Shut up, Mike.
You guys look real.
Get out, but
You guys
can't
look
help me.
cool.
This is what happened when we skip a few weeks, y'all.
This is what happens when we play two games back to back.
Seriously. Okay.
Love you all so
Um,
much.
She says, where you could come cool off and play some cards. I've never played cards. They said there's alcohol involved, and you take your clothes off.
No.
Wait,
That's
what?
they said that's how you play the game if you lose.
No.
You have to like take a piece, like your shoe off, and then you take your sock off, and then
No.
Why would you play? What?
No,
Why is that the
that's-
thing?
I don't know. That's what they said. I was gonna go play. You want to play?
What did you
Well,
do?
Is
you
Tal
look
playing?
like you've already
No.
started.
Okay. Look. Oh, shut. You shut up. You no. What did you do in college?
No,
Never
Tal
mind.
doesn't want to play.
You're not playing a card game. They're just trying to get you to take your clothes off.
But they have cards.
Yeah. It's a way to get you to take their clothes off. Your clothes off. If you drink, you'll be worse at cards. It's a game that they already know. They'll be better at it. They'll win more. You take
Do you
off
work
clothes.
on the reactor often? She's not listening to you. She's
What?
just like walking closer, and she's like,
What?
"Mm-hmm."
No, I don't.
Yeah.
That's
Do you
Tamir's
have
job.
often? Then what are you doing down here?
He asked for help.
Yes. I needed an extra set of hands.
This is me in real life.
Okay. So you are both just gonna stay down here, just the two of you, and not play cards?
I mean, you can stay here if you want.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to hang out. Or I mean, I could leave. I could go. I mean, I'm sure it's fine.
Why would we stay in the reactor?
You're the engineer.
I know. And like Tamir like looks at like Malik.
Why
Like,
don't y'all come play cards with us? Please.
let's go play cards. How bad
You
can
may
it be?
beat them.
We'll
That
beat
could be
them.
fun.
Right, Aurora?
Okay.
Yeah. She goes,
All right.
oh yeah.
Mhm.
Come play
Sure.
cards, damn it.
Sure. Why not?
As the
Tamir?
camera comes back up, Tao. If you're looking at any of the video feed, you see that Alia, the branch agent, and the two legionnaires are like sitting around and they're kind of dealing out some cards. Like it looks like they're gonna play. And you see Lamara come kind of like bounding in with Tamir and Malik, both of which are very dirty. They're very sweaty. They have like their jumpsuit down and like tied at the waist instead, and they're like white undershirts all sweaty and dirty and gross. Both of them look worse for wear. And they look, I imagine, grumpy. Do y'all look grumpy? Would that
sorry,
be the state of your brow?
Someone draw that fan art. Yeah, please.
Lamara goes, see, they're gonna play some cards.
Yeah, definitely. There's a surly atmosphere to the Alisad brothers.
I
I don't think anybody's ever seen them so in sync.
Yeah, I guess y'all have stepped up together for this one. So Farouk goes, shall we pour more drinks? What? Who
What are you-
died?
What are you drinking?
This is my own special brew.
Uh-huh.
He like puts it straight to his lips and like pops when he like runs, and he wipes it away and he goes, come on.
Ooh, you're making it worse, bud.
Lamar goes, I'll take one. He goes, see?
Yeah. No,
He
I'm.
pours Amara a glass. She sits down.
We have about 2 hours before the engines are up and running. I must refuse the drink, but thank you.
Just enough time for me to take your money. Have a seat, kid.
With pleasure. Tamir will
Hey,
sit down.
He goes, does anybody know how to get your captain to come play? Oh wait, if you're talking KP, I cannot hear you.
I just wanted to say, Alia in the meantime, like sneakily like takes away the drink from Lamara and just gives her some tea instead.
Slides over. He goes, oh, tea.
And then she goes, I think our captain is quite busy right now, but
I
hopefully
thought you said
we
the
should
ship's
be able
just
to.
waiting for 2 hours.
No. Hold on a second.
Tal, Tamir and I are hanging out with the new Legionnaires all alone.
5, 4, 3, 2,
Tal
Wait, are we
walks
counting?
in.
Yeah. He goes, "Hey, more drinks," and he starts kind of pouring drinks around.
I'm gonna have to pilot in 2 hours, so I'm going to skip
Smart
that.
lady, this one. I like her.
Tal
I like
sits
her.
down next to Tamir. And kind of looks like, aren't you gonna take a shower or something?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I found them this way. They were very angry together in the reactor.
The reactor overheated, so of course I'm angry at it.
That seems like no way to treat a reactor.
Hal looks directly at Tamir in the eye and says, well, sounds like there was a bit of an overreaction down there, huh?
Wow.
He starts dealing cards in the silence. Around the table. All right, here's what we're gonna do. We'll just do a quick thing. Everybody can, I don't know. We'll do this like a quick round of poker, right? So at the top,
Cheating
you can
dot.
tell me if you want to bet. If you want to bet, we'll do this. You can tell me if you want to put into bet. We'll roll for the actual like card. And then I guess if you want to cheat, we can figure that out. So if anybody wants
we're
to
counting
cheat,
cards. We
or
are
if you
counting the
have, like-
shit out of cards.
Oh, that's right. You have Aurora. You're such an asshole. All right.
Also,
so
Tamir is very mathematically inclined. It is not difficult to
Wait.
pay attention to count cards.
all right.
It is
So I'll
counting
give you
technically
cards part of
not
poker?
illegal.
I thought that was
You-
just blackjack.
Oh, you can count
No,
cards in
poker?
poker. You can
Count cards,
count cards.
poker's
Oh,
great.
sure,
You need
what
to
I
know the
know.
probability of what's worth holding,
Yep.
staying, and who's got what.
Well, one day we'll play some real poker. Okay, so it'll be fine. I'll take all your money and be this guy that's pouring drinks. So here's what I would say. Everybody can tell me how your character would best use a skill to try to win the hand. I think that's the best way to do it. So, like, for example, if you're going to use Aurora to help you count cards, I would say that would be science or technology for Tamir, right? Tal may want to use command. Maybe you command the table into believing your ruse or whatever. So I want you to choose how you're going to try to win this hand.
And this is a gross misusage of this skill. Alia has premonition as a talent.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I am gonna have you roll your mystic ability to see if the premonition comes through. Okay, here's the question. Do you want the premonition to be whether or not they're bluffing? Or whether or not or the cards that are coming?
Oh.
To like know if they're bluffing or to know the cards that are coming.
Okay. I feel like rather than just knowing Alia, I think rather than actually playing the game, she sits behind Tal and basically gives her information. So I feel instead, so she's gonna be like next to Tal, and she probably whatever is the best option. I don't know how to play proper poker.
Okay, so here's what we'll do. We'll say, Alia, roll your mystic ability. The amount of successes will be the additions that Tal gets to her roll to win the game of game of poker.
Okay, so
This is like a ridiculous rule I'm making up on the spot. This is so ridiculous.
Just the best. Just roll mystic.
Yeah, just roll your mystic ability.
Okay, let me double check and make sure there's no. Okay, there isn't any of that. So yes, straight mystic. Oh, thank God.
You use your very rare talent to fucking cheat
Gift from
cards.
God.
It's like, if you have a gift, what better way to use it?
All right. So you take a 2. You're going to take 2 in addition. And it's almost like you all have been meditating together. You've been working on speaking in each other's minds. And though you and Alia don't hold the same connection that you and Tamir do, you can still... She can send, like, images, right, to you. You can share that, like, single symbol or that single phrase that can appear in your mind's eye. And Alia has a premonition and begins sending you a message. And you're going to get a +2 Tal to your roll for this. how would all of you like to play? Lamara's gonna play because she can. I have her character sheet, and then I'm gonna roll for them.
Tamir doesn't want to win. Tamir just wants to beat Farouk and ensure he has the least probability of winning.
Beat his
Okay.
ass.
So what I'll say is,
Hold
just,
on. So, I never mind. Go ahead.
So here's what's gonna happen. Just as Alia boosted Tues, you're gonna minimize his roll to win. So you're gonna roll. I'm guessing you're using Aurora to help you.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
It's a game. She's gonna be so excited and happy to
Science or
play.
technology, either one I'll take.
They're the same. They're identical for me.
Great. So we'll take technology because it's Aurora specifically.
Oops. Well, I rolled science, but
Okay, so one.
got
So
one.
he's gonna take a -1 because of your and Aurora's efforts to screw his pooch. Malik.
How is anyone here good at cards? Out of the crew? We've never played
don't know-
cards.
you don't
I feel
know.
like, yeah. So I was gonna say if they were, they would notice. Malik is throwing hands. Intentionally. What I'm doing, Dot, is I'm throwing hands. Let's get some H's in chat. And I would like to give you a manipulate roll. I'm watching Farouk and Dala for any tells they might have. Not ones that could benefit me in cards, just tells in general.
Oh, interesting. You can roll a manipulation. I'll give you
Alright.
that. I can actually give you this information. These are quirks that they have written into their characters.
I'm going to give you a darkness point, just because, you know what?
14, everybody. I'm at 14.
Fuck it. All right, I wasn't meant to know.
No, they're
fates
pretty rock
conspired against
solid.
me.
It's rather hard to tell
Mm-hmm.
anything about them.
Mm.
They're you can tell they do this. More than likely, they hustle tables all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're just a little rough around the edges. Lamara is also going to use manipulation. She is also going to use manipulation. Okay. She only got a 1 on her roll. Now, I guess they are going to roll now.
Do I get to roll?
Yeah, oh yes, of course. Well, that's what I was about to say. So they're going to roll for hands. So anybody that's playing the hand. So in this case, all the rest of you like gave your turns to buff everybody else. So Tal's rolling a hand, Lamara rolls a hand, and then the 3 agents are going to roll hands. So go ahead, Tal, and remember you're taking a +2.
I kind of feel like probably what happened is Tal sat down at the table next to Tamir, and then they started dealing cards out. And Tal wasn't actually intending to play, but she sees cards land in front of her and starts getting essentially messages from Alia. So she's like, all right, I guess we're doing this. So she's going to kind of use her command role as like,
Nice.
This is my ship.
Yeah.
This is my turf. I'm going to use command for this.
I love it. Command this table. Get it.
She's going to try to, at least. She's
Okay.
really, just a note, she's not great with people. She doesn't play cards because she doesn't like people. We're going to see how this goes. No.
Okay.
I'm not giving you
And that was
another
your
darkness
+2
point for
that had the +2 as
Yes.
well? Okay. That's okay. It's okay to like totally lose it. Okay. So Lamara's got
Not-
the better hand at the moment. Here they go. They're going to roll. The first one's going to roll -1 thanks to Tamir. So Farouk lays his hand down at a critical failure. That's 2 ones. The Dala will roll her hand with no and then we're gonna roll for our friend the agent. Okay, she got 1 success. So this hand of poker like goes out. We see Malik start like throwing hands. Basically, he's folding every round, which totally screws the pot up. Every time it comes around. For you poker players, there's nothing I hate more than people that always fucking fold. You can't always fold. Malik always folds because he knows it'll screw the pooch. We see Tamir use Aurora very quietly and without anybody knowing, obviously, to begin counting numbers and cards so that instead of playing his hand, he's actually playing Farouk's hand. He pulls the the cards that Farouk needs, of course, to make probably the straight that he may have that was like running or something like that. Tal basically just doesn't, unfortunately, the luck is not there. She just doesn't have a good hand, even though she knows that it's a good idea to fold midway through. And as the final card is turned on the flop, you can see the special branch agent, like, man, she slams her card down, and her and Lumara both have a pair, which is not good enough to beat the straight that is the critical success from Dala. And Dala like lays him out on the table. You can see Farouk was trying to lie to all of you. He didn't have anything. He was bluffing. His hand was shit too. And he goes, oh man, pour us another drink. Deal him back out. And Lamar goes, did I win? Did I win? And Dala goes, no, you didn't win. She goes, oh.
You were close, though.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did good here. If you had if you had 3 of these, you would have had a better probability of winning. You could be good at this, Lamara.
Dala, for the first time, speaks up and goes, probability, huh? Let me guess, you're the scientist on this ship.
I'm the engineer, yes, it says it right here.
Oh, I thought it was from your snooty attitude counting cards.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All that probability talk makes me nervous. You're not cheating, are you?
Why would I cheat?
You didn't even have a hand.
I lost.
I don't know, something about you tells me that kind of looks you up and down. Are you hiding your tech on your face and your head?
Oh, yeah. It's covered in ink. It's covered in tattoos.
It's covered in tattoos.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Although I would say the tattoos are of like Algolian design.
She like gets up and you can tell she's a little perturbed that there will be no more card dealing. She doesn't like the fact you talked about probability. It spoiled the mood.
Learn how to do math.
And she stops and she goes, your face. Those tattoos.
Yeah. With the button.
I've seen some before.
Have you been on Coriolis? That's where I got them.
Yeah. She doesn't notice the tech underneath, which is probably a really good thing, because that would have definitely assured that you were cheating. Nah, just, she kind of smiles a little bit of a crude, mean smile. Just a nobody I met one time. They're not around anymore. Farouk goes, oh yeah, I remember them. Hey, yeah, we've seen those tattoos before. Remember when we were on Algol? And she, like, whacks him in the chest. Like...
I don't think the cards that Tamir was holding are just crumbled in his giant fist.
Man, those are my only deck of cards. He goes, chill out, have a seat, have a drink. He goes, hey, Tal, you want another drink?
No, I still have to pilot in about half an hour.
Right. But when we're done, maybe on the way back.
I generally don't drink while I'm on the ship.
Oh, okay, but we can get one when we get off. Oh, I bet we could hit one of those cool space stations. The portal stations? You know, I've heard that they...
Hey, Farouk. She said no.
She said she didn't want to drink on the ship, man.
She doesn't want to drink with you.
What do you know about it?
I know, my captain.
Is that true, Captain? You don't want to drink with me?
Look, I was trying to be nice about it, but this is like a working relationship only.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not interested anyways. You know what? This is my last bottle. Anyways, so it's mine. You can't have any.
Okay. Sorry.
Don't apologize. It's fine. It wasn't that big of a deal anyways. I could get a drink with anybody.
I mean, when we get back, we could possibly all get a drink together as
No, it's good. It's good. I get it. I get it. Dala goes, Farouk, leave them alone. And he goes, what? He goes, y'all look like a ragtag bunch. What y'all doing out here? Him, I could push over in a light breeze. Points right at Malik.
Joey laughs, not Tamir.
I mean, I'm just saying, y'all are on a dangerous mission. And a long way from home. I mean, I guess if you consider Coriolis your home, I don't know. Well, I know you don't. And he points right at your tattoos.
This is my home.
Oh, you live on the ship. Cool. Man, you're cool. You sure you don't want to get a drink? No, you're right. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Okay.
These are my worst Tinder dates.
Yeah.
Awkward.
Personal experience.
Yes, I swear if there's something else he could crush, it's just being balled up in his fist right now.
Well, this has been incredibly fun. And Malik stands
Are
up.
we going to play another hand? I almost won.
Ooh,
And he goes, hey, maybe you want a drink. And he points at Lamara.
No, she fucking doesn't.
He goes, whoa. She goes, but I do. We can have drinks. Maybe everybody will calm down.
No.
I have space volume upstairs.
Also, no.
Alia
They
could
make me
us
feel
tea.
better.
Yeah.
Would you mind, Alia?
No, of course not. Let's simmer down. I think we all have had enough of a drink. How about something else? And
I would
I'll
love
make it
some
in.
tea.
I'll make that in a jiffy.
Thanks.
I love
Aw,
Alia.
tea.
Let's just simmer down, please.
Just
everyone.
calm down. Don't make me raise my voice. That's so wonderful.
Thanks,
Y'all haven't seen
Mom.
Alia angry yet. That is
I'll make
there
Mom
is a
angry.
switch.
And he goes, you
So
know what?
excited for it.
This is boring anyways. And he starts scooping his cards up. He's like, pfft. I thought you guys were all going to be, the best of the best. That's what they said anyways. Lacking.
Are the
Tamir-
best of the best card-playing drunkards, or did we just get the bottom of the barrel?
He turns around and he goes, I'm sorry. What did you say? And
I'm
Dala
sorry.
actually stops too and stands.
Criminal says what?
What?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Malik.
I was just asking a question. He said that he thought we were the best of the best. Are the best of the best card-playing drunkards, or did we, presumably the best of the best, get the bottom of the barrel?
Does he always talk like this? He's kind of weird. Mara goes, he's not weird. And he goes, there's something wrong with all of you. He's like, no wonder they have to send you to the outskirts of space.
Have another drink. It'll help you shoot straight.
He goes, haha, I will. And none of you get any. Not like I'd want to drink
You know
with
what?
you.
You know what, man? I bet you couldn't down that bottle. In fact, you know what? Here's 100 burr. You can't down that whole bottle yourself.
Okay, I'm gonna let you roll a manipulation.
Tal's face.
Looks so angry,
Dala
but
goes,
also
Farouk,
she
you can't
doesn't
drink
say
that bottle.
anything.
Yeah. She goes, Farouk, you can't drink that bottle. Stop it. We got a mission. Go ahead and roll a manipulation to see if you convince him. He goes, no, Dala. He's like, this guy here, what is his name? Marik?
Sound it out. You got it.
Right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Maweek is what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I could totally down this bottle. And Dala's like, stop it, Farouk. And
Do it, Farouk.
he goes to... And he goes, and what are you anyways? Not even a proper engineer.
Hal elbows Tamir when
He goes,
when he said that.
We can't even get where we're going. Ship don't work.
We got here because the ship worked exactly as intended. Maybe if you went to school, you would understand a little more about the ships that are keeping you alive in the middle of nowhere.
He goes, I didn't need to go to school. I learned a different set of skills. That's how I got where I am.
In the middle of nowhere? On our ship?
Sure.
You gonna keep chatting or you gonna chug that bottle?
Oh, right. He goes to put it to his lips. At this point, the branch agent stands up and she says, put the bottle down. That's an order. And, Adina seems a bit done. She, I gotta make sure I got it, is gonna roll. She is going to roll a command for him because he is technically under her command. Technically. What is command built off of? Empathy. 5. 8 die. Got it. She doesn't get a success. He looks over at her and he says, come on, it's 100 burr. And he puts the bottle to his lip and he begins to chug.
At that point, Alia walks in, and actually, Alia is going to use force to grab the bottle out of his hands.
Okay, we'll have a... he's going to take some extreme negatives to this, but we'll have a roll-off here.
Okay. Should I roll?
Yeah, you're going to roll force.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Come on, baby. Oh, God!
He got
Why?
a critical success. You go to take it from him, and he snatches it back. And when he does, he goes, that's mine. And instinctually, he pushes Alia.
Alia gets up, and literally at this point, she goes, enough. And she literally now is turned to the entire room. And first turns to Nadia, goes, Nadia, if this is how your crew is going to behave, it's best we cancel this mission and head home.
She goes...
And then, no, before she even gives a chance, and then turns to Malik, and Tamir goes, you are acting like a bunch of children. You have been with this crew quite enough to know how every one of us is like. Stop it. And then she turns to what's his face and goes, you, what is it, Farouk? Yeah. Farouk, yeah. She goes, you need to learn boundaries. They are all in a relationship together. He's
all of them?
With her, well, he's with, and she stares at him for a quick second and goes, he and her are together. Him and her are together. So you constantly making inappropriate comments towards them is not welcome here. You're a professional. We're on a mission. Act like it. We're on a ship together in the middle of space. We're stranded because our engines aren't running, and we have no clue at what time someone is going to come in and attack us once again.
To correct that a little bit, we're just waiting for the engines to cool down slightly so they can be used properly without overheating. We'll be fine in a little while.
Yes, be that as may.
Alia, I'm gonna have you roll for me. I'm gonna need you to probably roll a manipulation here or a command.
I just have
Because you
neither
were
of
basically
those.
trying to intimidate.
Yeah, so I'm
I
just gonna
mean,
go
I'm not
strength,
stopping
empathy.
any of those things from happening.
True,
Private chat.
but
Don't
I'm
know who you
gonna so I have to roll empathy because I have 0 on
Yeah, that's
either
fine.
of
You can
them.
go ahead. Yeah, just roll the empathy for me.
Okay. Oh! I'm gonna give you a darkness point.
Okay,
Okay. Okay, 15.
15.
Come on, motherfuckers!
He looks up at you because you're much bigger than he is, and he goes, you know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. This crew. And you, and he looks you up and down, the priestess. What would these people need with a priest? And he goes, and it's not cool y'all didn't tell me you were like a thing. Okay?
None of your business.
And he goes, well, you could have just told me from the beginning before you let me embarrass myself. Sorry, he's the worst. He's the worst. And he goes, and I shared my alcohol with you and my cards. And you can see Dala's like looking over. And at this point, Nadina steps up and she goes, Farouk, since you seem to not care about my command or my orders, I'm going to ask you to meet me downstairs so that we can have a more private conversation. Dala looks a little like eyes big and she goes, better yet, Dala, come with him. She turns to Tal and to Alia before they leave. She says, I'm sorry for their behavior. I did not expect cards to get so out of hand. Farouk has a way about him.
Be that as may, we're sorry as well. We played a part.
I'm not apologizing for this.
I hope not. She looks at the two of you. She looks at the two of you. And she says, I don't know what's spoiled here. But you should figure it out. Because we have a mission. And we have to get that disc back.
We're trying to focus on the mission. It's very hard when someone keeps offering drinks.
To lighten the air. Or the mood. He just tends to take things a little far. I'll handle it.
Perhaps a celebration after the fact would be best.
Yes, a celebration after.
Yes.
She turns and goes down to the storage you can hear below. Anybody that would like? Yeah.
As soon as she leaves the room, Malik makes a show of sliding his burr back up and like pockets it. And then he reaches a hand out to Farouk and says, you know what, man, no hard feelings.
Okay.
Does he take his hand?
Yeah.
Malik leans in and whispers into Farouk's ear. A real man like yourself wouldn't let 3 ladies tell you not to drink. And he pulls his hand back and sits back down and pulls the chip out and just sort of flips the chip in the air and catches it.
His eyes squint. You can see his hand like wrench around the bottle. And she says, Farouk, I gave you an order downstairs. He is fuming and he kind of patters off downstairs. And They follow. Anybody that would like can roll an observation while they're down there, unless you would like to have conversation while they are away. They're basically down in the lower deck of storage.
I'm gonna listen, but only until Tal starts yelling at me.
Tal wants to hear it.
I have 1 success.
Need 2 successes to actually hear what they're saying,
That's
or
okay.
like really make out what's going on.
That's a failure for me.
Anybody?
Sally, open comms.
Opening comms. It's a bit staticky at first. You hear Nadia say, "You would ruin this mission for your own selfish reasons. So, I'm going to dish out a little selfishness." You hear the sound of skin against skin, more than likely a punch, a heavy one. You hear his body hit the ground. And she says, "Stand up." You can hear him pick himself up off the floor. She hits him again. And again. And again. Eventually you can hear her like panting. And she says, "I feel better. If you jeopardize this mission, the next time, I just won't stop. They need to trust us. And you've done nothing but see discontent. It'll be a lot harder for you to flirt with women now." And you can hear him like... He's like kind of choking and gagging.
The entire time, Tal is looking between Malik and Tamir, stone-faced. And then just walks back to check the status of the engines.
Did I miss something? Lamara says. Why is everybody so mad at them?
Ale turns to Lamar and goes, "It's nothing, love. Would you like to come with me? I think we need to let them cool off."
She looks at Malik. "Why are you mad?"
I'll tell you after we're done.
Oh, I think we should probably know.
What's wrong?
Why did I have to fix something, Malik, Tamir, while we were jumping?
For the first time since being on the ship, Malik looks you right in the face and goes, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're both lying? A
Malik
lot?
is 100% lying, and he's not.
Tamir
even
is
hiding
not
it.
lying. He
Okay.
has no idea what happened.
Okay, Malik, if you are lying, anybody that would try to read that lie, you are going to need to roll against your crew. In this case, it's manipulation to lie, and it's going to be wits, I believe, to or observation to pick up on it.
Malik isn't hiding it.
Great, Malik is lying, and Lamar goes, "Stop. What's wrong?" I know you're lying because you're still sweating. You don't ever sweat.
He pulls out a data pad and hits a few buttons, and in the cafeteria where we are, the mess deck, the screen displays with what he pulled up in the cryo chamber the previous month ago, or so however long it took us to go. And he scrolls on his data pad, and it scrolls along the screen, and he stops on the picture and the death notice. And he points to it. He says, "Tamir, you want to read that date for me?"
Yeah, it's this date.
Yeah, in-game date read aloud.
October 3rd.
Yeah.
It's
and Lamar goes-
58 CC, right?
Okay,
Base
so
date.
that was like a while ago. What?
Can you just get to the point?
That is Sewell.
Oh, look, he's cute.
That's Kasha. The one that looks like Sewell is probably his brother. And that date that all these people died in action, is the date that our parents were killed in an explosion set by consortium troopers.
They killed your parents?
And hundreds of others.
Wait. He killed your parents.
These two unfortunate assholes got captured by rebels.
Sewell was on that trip, though,
We've made peace with that.
so you can't
Wait,
make
Sewell
peace with
killed your
anybody
parents?
else.
Sewell tried to stop the bomb.
I don't understand.
Just like all the rest of his missions, he had no idea what he was doing.
Why do they get... That's not right. They killed your
Not
parents.
give the benefit of the doubt to these other people. Didn't know what they were doing. I mean, he's an asshole, but do you think he's malicious about it?
Sewell, to his credit, was a syndicate drone. These two enlisted.
They chose to be there. They wanted to be there. They knew exactly what they signed up for.
I should go...
The last time we gave someone the benefit of the doubt, it was when your dad assigned Kasha to the ship. So no, Tal. This time, I will not be giving them the benefit of the doubt.
Lamar goes, well, I am still the doctor on this ship. I should probably patch up his face.
Leave his face. Just make sure he's alive.
To make sure he doesn't need stitches. I'll take him to the med lab. She
Don't feel the need to make him look pretty by any means.
There's no skills in the world that will make that possible. And she kind of turns and
I missed you, Lamara.
she stops, and there's a moment she hears you say that, and she takes that in, and she turns around and she goes, I missed all you too. And she kind of puts a hand on Malik's chest and gets on her tiptoes and plants a small kiss on his cheek, and she says, I'm sorry. He's wrong. And she kind of walks away to go check on him.
Malik stands and goes to leave the room. Unless someone
Malik.
stops him. Yes.
Regardless of how we feel about them, they've been assigned to us. And it is my job, part of my job, to try to get the whole crew back. Please don't make it more difficult.
Is that in the contract?
Everyone wants to keep calling me a captain. Damn it, I'm gonna act like one. It's part of the captain's job.
All right. And he walks off to his room.
Does anybody else say anything or do anything while we wait out the rest of the ship?
Tal clutches the tea that Alia brought her. And hopes that it calms her.
With a little bit of calm.
She's hoping it works.
I imagine Dala and Nadina come back to the mess area. It's significantly more quiet now. You don't hear Farouk bustling about, making noise, causing a scene. He is in the med bay. I got a lot of darkness points, don't I? We have so many darkness points. All right.
Do
We're only
it.
halfway through today's game.
Oh my
I'm gonna
gosh.
spend some darkness.
Oh, and
Is it known that he's in the med bay? Like, is it obvious he's in there? Was there like a big like moany groany, big sad
No, I mean
baby?
she's got him like laid out, and you can see she's like she beat the crap out of him. His face is like busted up. He has an eye that's like completely swollen, like shut. She's stitching his face. Lamara's like stitching his face. You can see like if you're looking at the camera that's in the med bay, she's like, you know, you're looking at Lamara's back, and she's like over his face. You can see his body like laid out.
I have to do it because I can't not. Malik can't not.
We should probably wait till I spend these darkness points.
No, just it can only make it worse. He walks he walks in to rummage, right? Like there's like he makes it look like he went to the medical lab for any reason. He like goes, opens a drawer, puts something back in it that doesn't even belong in there. And he walks in and stops and like plants a kiss on Lamar's cheek and then looks over at Farouk and says, "Don't worry, man. Chicks dig scars." And then walks out.
Lumara smiles a little bit. We probably see her smile. She watches you leave, and she looks down at him. He's drunk as a skunk right now. He's like kind of just like laying there. You can hear him like, oh, okay. I mean, he's in a lot of pain, right? He can't really talk. His lips all swollen shut. And she goes, well, I finished stitching your face. You have a pocket of blood that's building. I'm gonna need to lance that. And Zamara reaches over to a drawer and grabs a scalpel, and we see her slice his neck from ear to ear. She completely drains him pretty much instantly. He doesn't scream. She puts her hand over his mouth, and she waits very nonchalantly for him to finish like gurgling on his own blood. She says, "You really shouldn't have been mean to Malik. Ever." She says, "Now I have a mess to clean up." And you can see she kind of looks around and she grabs a towel and binds his neck now that he's dead so that he can't keep bleeding everywhere. I will spend darkness points to make this happen. What you don't see is what Lamara does with it. I'm going to... Oh, I'm going to spend another darkness point to re-roll that because that was stupid bad. Okay, a success. Man, I'm just rolling really shitty. Okay. She gets a single success. Sorry, everybody. She did, to confirm chat, she did just kill that dude. She did just kill that dude. He might have survived had Malik not come in and kissed her cheek. She couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle it. And so we watch over the next few hours as the ship is quiet and everybody is in their own place, in their own way. The med lab is far removed from the majority of the activity where everybody's going to be. And over the next hour or so, we watch as Lamara uses a bloody glove to seal the medbay door, locks it down. She quickly begins removing his organs and dropping them in a bucket. She goes over to the metal sink and pours some chemicals in behind it to eat away at his organs. And over the next few hours, she slowly dissolves this body so that nothing is left of it except for his armor. And when that's all done, she knows this medbay better than anyone. She goes over to a hole in the wall. She removes the plating with quite a bit of effort. She puts his armor inside of it, shoes, anything that didn't get eaten by the chemicals. His gun included. Puts the place back on the wall, sees that she's put bloody handprints everywhere, that the white table is now covered in blood, and she spends the last few minutes cleaning, bleaching, wiping clean of any and all proof that he ever existed.
Until someone comes and asks where Farouk is.
And Lamara simply goes back to what she was doing, and she's like, oh, I'm hungry. And she turns around and just finishes, like, wiping down a counter. It's pristine. It's like he was never there. And you hear Sally come over the intercom as Lamara walks back to mess hall to get something to munch. And yes, Sally recorded every ounce of it, because Sally records everything. We hear Sally say, Captain, we're drawing close to our destination.
Great. All right. Everybody, I turn on the comms. Everybody suit up. Get yourself prepared for landing. I have no idea how this is going to go. I've never been on a water planet before.
You have been given scuba suits. Sally goes, Captain, the atmosphere is very thin. The cold weather makes it difficult. You may have to manually land the ship on the planet's surface.
Great. Lovely. I
got this stuff.
Yeah, I'm good. I do an extra prayer.
Yeah, you're like, oh, please.
I've never done a water landing before.
Sally comes over and says, crew, please find appropriate seating. We are going to make planetside landing. Or atmospheric landing.
I
Lamara comes out.
assume the main crew has like their own crew positions to
Yeah,
sit in.
probably. Lamara comes out. She goes, you want to sit by me, Malik?
Yeah, that's where I always sit.
She looks kind of giddy. It's kind of weird.
No,
She
it
looks
isn't. Dot.
happy. I know, it's not.
No,
It's
it isn't.
definitely her. But she looks happy, kind of relieved in a way. Probably since the first time, y'all ripped your girlfriend out of a jar.
Well, I think Malik like makes sure, because he doesn't know she was crazy when he got her. He doesn't. He's gonna make sure that she's buckled in properly, and then sits next to her.
She wait, let's see. I wonder if she you like buckle her in, and she kind of giggles, and you see out of the corner of your eye she unbuckles herself and she goes, oops, it didn't stay.
We're gonna be landing, and he reaches over and buckles her back in, and then he goes to sit in his
She
chair.
doesn't seem to care. She doesn't care. She thought it was cute. Tao, I need you to make this landing for us.
Okay. +1 for the blessed ship.
+1 for the blessed ship.
anything else?
+1 for your prayer. There's not, but there's maneuverability, so you're gonna get +2 for the maneuverability, so 4 with this, because you've got those little like hub things. It makes me think of the pieces that are on like the ships in the Matrix. They're like, and they add like pressure to help like keep the ship like level. So it helps you with maneuverability on the big science vessel.
Critical success!
Wow.
Fudge, yes. Okay. All right.
Hell yeah.
We will get there. We see Tao start the process. The ship kind of boots up, and there's a moment where you may hold your breath, Tamir. Like, has it cooled off enough? The last thing we need is an overheated reactor being booted up far too soon. And everybody holds their breath, and the ship, like, into overdrive. And you hear Sally say, Captain, vitals of the ship look good. We are at full capacity at the moment. We'll be planetside in T-2 minutes. And everything's like, as Tao's like bringing this heavy vessel in to atmosphere on this moon. And you can see this moon is an icy blue color. The side that faces the purple sun almost glows from this kind of purple light that hits it. But you, of course, are headed to the dark side of the moon. And as you draw ever closer to the planet, all of you can see out one of the port windows here in the, like I guess out the major front window, that there's a piece of a vessel that's like crumpled and breaking apart in space. You're gonna guess this is probably a part of the Zafirah that you've been like looking for. Not the piece you need, because you know that piece is planet side. And as everybody takes their seats, you see Nadina come in and go, "Has anybody seen Farouk?"
Malik just looks at Lamara.
"I don't know. I patched him up in the med bay. He said he was gonna go lay down."
Can I roll to see if she's lying, Dot?
You sure can. Okay, you have to roll better than a 1.
How about a crit?
Okay, she's super duper lying.
And we're currently landing. Oh yeah, we're planetary. It's fine.
Yeah, we're like coming in. So Nadina quickly sits down, and like there's like a shuffle as she tries to buckle herself. She clearly was like looking for him and couldn't find him.
He like looks over at her and knows that she's lying, and he just slides his terminal over, as if he's gonna be doing, comms officer things. And he immediately starts typing. Dot, Tal, I'm so sorry. I'd like to hack the ship also for the first time ever.
Wow. Okay. On her perfect landing, you're gonna have to beat her critical success to take the ship over.
I'm not taking the ship over.
Oh, okay.
I'm hacking something completely different to whatever.
You want the video footage. You want to know what the fuck happened in the med bay.
I don't, because we have to willingly give that to what's her face. What I do want to do is, while we were space side, I would like to make it look like one of the cargo doors opened and closed.
Okay. I will roll a data gen to take it over and to open a... The good news is, had you done this and Tao did not have a critical success, the ship would be thrown off kilter.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to actually open it. I just want to make it like a log.
Make it look
yeah, I want to log in the
open.
computer that it was opened at X time while we were in space. So that's a 2 limited success. So maybe it looks like, after getting his ass kicked, he decided to just go for a short walk into space.
So for all of you at home, we see...
Needed a breath of fresh air.
Click it in right about the time that you saw Lamara in the med bay. You log that like one of the bay doors opened or something like that. And Tao, you hit atmosphere. It's cold here. Ice tinks on the windshield. You can hear the wind outside because you've come out of space. The noise, the deafening sound of sound kind of takes over. And as you come into atmosphere, you can see the snow and the ice and things like that are making it difficult to see. The good news is well, you rolled a critical success, so you have no problem. You kind of turn the lights on as the science ship hovers near the surface. And as you get close, all of you can see it is water. Massive chunks of ice and icebergs like float in this ever vast, never ending, deep, icy blue water. Tao, you find a very large, I'm going to call it an iceberg, a very large iceberg that kind of has like a big flat landing piece on it. And you land the Defiant as if it was on ice skates. It just like comes down really gently. Nothing cracks underneath it. You don't cause any disruptions or anything like that. And the ship kind of... for the record, I spent the 2 darkness points to play the healer card, which she did not choose to do. Our healer is also a killer. Bam. Bam.
Two sides of the same coin, though.
Aren't, isn't it, though? You hold people's lives in your hands muted. Regardless.
I said, I'm pretty sure she's killed more people than she's healed. Pretty sure she, melted the brains of 2 people back on Kua.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We know she's done murders pre-jar.
As soon as Tal knows that she touches down and sits there holding the controls for just a moment, waiting for some sort of crack or shift or something.
Sally goes, Captain,
exhales.
Perfect landing. Yeah. She goes, Captain, perfect landing. We have exactly enough space on either side, and it seems you have found a rather secure and structural iceberg. Well done.
Thanks, Sally. You've gotten really good at compliments lately.
It is part of my upgrades that I received when we were at the Hammurabi station. I think you can thank Joey for those.
I'll have to remember to thank Joey next time I see him.
The compliment.
Captain, what's the plan?
Yeah. Well,
I can go with you?
Yes.
if you really want to, yeah. But
Nadia
it
says,
would
oh,
be
yeah.
a good idea to have at least one person stay with the ship.
I don't want to stay with the ship. Okay, I'll stay with the ship. Nadia goes, well, we should all suit up. We should have wetsuits and the scuba gear in the back. Plenty to go around.
Yeah. Sally, do a scan for environmental information.
Scanning for environmental information. T-minus 75 degrees Celsius. The atmosphere is made of frozen water. The planet's surface is 96.1% frozen water.
Well, gonna be cold.
So much water.
How
It
do we
says
feel
this
about
side of the planet never sees sunlight, based on its orbit. It will be dark. You should take extra light.
Good advice.
Dala goes, you can hear her like at the end of the ship that's like, Farouk, come on, you dumbass. You can hear her like banging on the door where they were supposed to be like sleeping, right? Their bunking station or whatever.
Is he drunk? Did he just pass out?
He was very drunk. I had him take a breathalyzer test. He said he was going back to his room to lay down. I haven't seen him since I stitched his face.
Can I tell if she's lying?
You can sure roll to try. It's a wits roll to pick up. You got to beat her. I guess she can roll again. Observation. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'd take an observation.
Nope. Failure.
She seems... Tao, she seems kind of happy. And maybe like she's kind of maybe back to her old self again.
You also notice that Malik's holding her hand.
Oh.
She's feeling
Maybe
better.
Maybe that's why she feels happy. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Nothing fishy's going on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
All
except
right.
he never holds her hand except when things get weird.
What? That's not true.
So
That can't be right.
That's so true.
So fucking true.
100% accurate.
All right.
But I also failed my observation roll, so it's just really cute to tell.
Yeah, it's really cute.
Tal's heart feels a little bit better.
And you can see Nadia's like standing behind her, Nadina, and she kind of picks up on it. She says, well, he couldn't have gone anywhere. This is a ship. She kind of starts going.
Sally, locate any additional life forms on ship.
Sally says, running scan of vessel.
I mean, you did do a pretty good number on him, like 2 hours ago.
It's true. His face was very broken open. 10 stitches, in fact. He had lost eyesight in one eye. Probably not going to return.
So I'm not really sure what good he's going to be on the planet anyway.
I could stay here and watch for him. You know, just in case he wakes up out of his drunk stupor. And Dala goes, she goes, I can't find him, Captain. She's like, he probably crawled in a corner somewhere to sleep off his drunkenness. And she's like, if he's not coming with us, he doesn't get a cut of the pay. And Dala goes, you're just going to leave him behind, Captain? And she's like, look, we got all of them. Plus the doctor will take care of him.
Yeah,
The
Sally,
doctor already took care of him.
life form count.
Sally goes, currently aboard the vessel, there are 8 life forms. Dalagos. There should be 9. There were 9 of us when we left. Captain, I am only reading 8 active life forms.
Well, then.
7.
Did I? No. The
Let's-
5 of us and the 3 of them. Oh, you're right.
7.
You're totally right. 7. Yeah, she goes, I'm sorry, Captain. I am reading 7 active life forms. And she says I should have had 8. I can math.
Counting is hard, okay? Well, I guess there's a body around here somewhere, I'm sure.
Body? Lamar says.
There are only 7 active life forms. 8 people were on the ship when we left. So there's a body around here somewhere. And
Dallas says,
my
you think he
guess is-
died?
Lumara, how many stitches did he receive?
Well, I had to put 10 in his face.
What happened to his face?
Blunt force trauma.
Could it have caused a stroke?
Or an
Possibly.
aneurysm.
He did have a lot of alcohol in his system. The thinning of the blood could not have been good, along with the amount of bleeding he was doing. Plus, his nose was broken. He didn't like it when I reset it. He would have screamed, but he had bit down on his tongue already. It was all swollen. He was choking. For a while.
You didn't. You sent him. You just sent him on his way like that?
Oh, I patched him up and made sure, that anything that was swollen was being taken care of.
Okay, so he should be in the med bay, right?
No, he went back to his bunk is what he told me.
Okay, so let's go check his bunk area.
Dala goes, I checked his bunk. He's not there.
We don't have time. I'm sorry to. We need to
Tamir,
move on with
I'm
this
not-
mission.
I'm not leaving a member of my crew on the ship with a person I don't know unaccounted for.
Then if
Being
you
dead.
said you needed someone to stay on the ship, Farouk can stay on the ship. We'll take Lamara.
Oh, Dala.
Or that one.
You're gonna leave her on the ship? I could stay on the ship.
Mara, you stay on the ship. If we have to come back with an injury or something, you're the best one to patch us up when we get back.
I'm really good at fixing people.
Yes.
It's true.
So, fortunately for you, kind of indispensable.
You know what? At this point, Nadine goes, you know what? You're right. He's a drunkard, and I've already apologized for his behavior enough. I'm not going to do it anymore. If he doesn't make the mission, he doesn't get his pay. And for all I care, we can shoot him out the airlock. And she says, suit up, everyone. We need to probably move quickly, especially with those pirates hot on our trail.
Yeah. All right. Let's go.
She puts a hand on Tal's shoulder and she says, Captain, I appreciate your care for my men. It means a lot. It's a quality sign of a good captain.
Tal just kind of looks a little taken aback. She doesn't really know what to say.
She says, well, skin-tight suits don't zip themselves, huh? And she kind of smacks you on the back a little bit harder after that, and she kind of wanders off to go suit up with Dala.
Yeah.
Leaving all of you, along with Lamara, standing there on the bridge.
That was fucking weird.
I promise
Let's
I'll keep the
go.
ship safe.
I know you will. You know what to do if we run into any emergencies.
Just for an abundance of caution, Lamara. If anyone that isn't us knocks on the hull door, especially if they're a child, do not let them on the ship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't let kids on the ship.
Yep, at all.
I can do that.
Thanks. That'd be great. Oh,
She kind of smiles and she says, I imagine there's like a gathering. Y'all like suit up in these like skin tight, super duper thick wetsuits that are going to keep you warm in this ice cold water. There's like a heating system that like runs throughout it that is attached to the tank on your back. It's a scuba diving like suit. You all kind of suit up. Lamaris smiles watching y'all like wiggle into these suits, specifically Malik, who has to wiggle into this scuba suit.
this is the kind of harassment I get at home all the time.
I believe
I'm like putting clothes on, and my girlfriend's like, I'm like, get out of here, you monster.
I'm going.
Is that really how that story goes?
That is exactly how that story.
I'm
That's
pretty
not even
sure
a
she's
joke.
like, oh, monster.
Yeah, that's fair.
Don't believe
That's fair.
Oh God, why?
Dot, are we
It is a
disembarking the ship?
worm.
You will be momentarily.
Okay.
I'm going to have. I need to
I love you,
see.
KP.
You're both terrible.
I'm going to have. I'm going to guess this is probably Tamir. Tamir, I'm going to have you roll a science roll to do to try to map underwater, so y'all can try to find this crashed vessel. Just to see how like long it takes you under the water to get to where you're going. Perfect, great. As you reached atmosphere, or like when you landed, you kind of ran diagnostics along with Sally. You were able to see there is a structure that is deep down, about 2 miles or so. Under the water. It's hella far. That is where you all are traveling. Structurally speaking, there seems to be a small set of caves that might be kind of a quicker access, but Sally pings that map, that underwater like map, to your suit. So y'all kind of have like a digital HUD or something, maybe, or maybe it shows up in your goggles, something cool. Oh yes.
I was just gonna say, before we start heading out, or as we're about to head out, Alia turns to Lumara and he goes, I just wanted to say, I noticed you look much happier, and I'm glad.
I'm feeling better. Yeah, I'm feeling better.
Okay. Well, if there's ever a moment you need to talk with me, I know I would love to just properly get to know you. I know we've really not had enough time to just sit down and just chat after everything.
You used to talk to me all the time.
I'm sorry, what?
She goes, you used to talk to me all the time. When I was in the jar or whatever. I could hear you. Tal did too. Or at least tried to. Sometimes the djinn would block it out, so that I couldn't hear what they were saying. But I knew y'all were there. I probably know you better than you know me.
Well, hopefully I can say the same very soon.
A lot of people don't like to get to know me.
Well, I'm hoping that's not the case, and I know this is not the case here.
You seem nice. I like
Thank
nice
you.
people.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm glad I'm nice then.
Yep. And you make good tea.
Thank you. Well,
Oh, how about I make tea this time when you all get back? Because you're going to need it. Your bones are going to be cold.
that'd be lovely. If you want, you can use my my tea jars are in my room. So whichever one you like to pick, go ahead.
Okay. Okay.
Just don't touch the one that's up at the very top.
Okay.
It's specialty.
It's special.
Shit.
Okay. Okay. Bye. And she you can see the back hatch drops open and it's fucking snow and wind and huge chunks of ice. It is nightmarish. And you can see there's about 10 feet between the back of the vessel, where the gang, it actually drops down, and the edge that plops off into the water. There's about a 6-foot drop. You're gonna have to jump in.
Before we disembark, Dot, or as we're about to leap off, Malik turns his, oh shit, hold on a second. And he
What?
runs back into the ship with this scuba suit on.
We hear you're like plat 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 of your.
We told you to go ahead and use the bathroom.
It's not that. What? And he opens his room, and he reaches across to where the bundle of cloth and the jar used to sit, and in the corner, propped up in the wall, looks like trash. And he reaches over and grabs it. And for all intents and purposes, it is trash. It is some kind of synthetic metalloid, but it's a spear. It's the only thing he had with him when they picked him up from XR. And he grabs this spear, and on his way out of the room, he looks at the cargo door, leans back in the room, hits the panel on the wall, and says, "Sally, delete all recorded footage for the last 10 hours."
Delete
And then-
recorded footage for the last 10 hours.
And then he runs back out with the spear.
She says, "What is that?"
It's my spear.
You have a spear?
Yeah, I made it.
Can you use it?
Yeah, I use it to fight giant worms.
Like real worms, not in your head?
What? No, giant worms. I was trapped on a rust planet.
Oh, right. You told me that.
Yeah.
Cool. That was your toy?
I mean, I didn't have any other weapons, so I had to make one.
Oh, it's a
Giant-
weapon. Yeah, I
It's a
see
s-
that now.
It's a spear. It's like a giant scalpel.
How do you do it?
You stab them with the pointy end.
Well, that's not how you use a scalpel.
Okay, well then it's like a giant needle.
Okay, show me.
We have work to do. And
she's kind of picking on you
and
a
he
little
like
bit.
opens the thing and like gives her a kiss on the cheek and then puts it back down. I have to go. And then
Okay, bye. And she kind of like hits the button and you can see it like as it closes back up, and as it you hear metal on metal. Lumara was gonna say, "Sally, delete all footage from the med bay, please." Sally goes, "Already done, Lumara. Malik asked me to delete all footage in the last 10 hours. Lumara goes, "Oh. Okay, I love him. I'm gonna go to his bedroom and smell his pillow now." And she saunters off to your bedroom to wait it out while all of you go on a very, very dangerous mission.
that sounds right. That sounds
It's
right.
not. That's a
gonna
corruption part. That's 5 darkness points.
Okay. She is feeling more like herself. Man, somebody with bloodlust, it really helps when you kill something. You just feel better. Poor
Has
Alia has no
bloodlust?
idea. She does. That is one of her things. She's bloodlusty.
Yep.
I mean, she lusty for other things, but she specifically bloodlusty.
Those are her two kind of lusts. It's Malik lust and bloodlust.
It's true. She also has a couple talents, one of which she's not actually used yet. That's a scary talent. Oh,
I really don't want those two lusts to combine at any point.
Yeah. All right.
They almost did, but you took care of that.
So our camera picks up after all of you have basically jumped into this ice cold water. No matter how thick of a suit you wear, there is no denying how cold it is. And I imagine we hear this kind of dense emptiness. Much like space, but it's not space. It's underwater. And it is black. So much, yes, so much worse. You can hear, right, you can hear your own underwater as you breathe through this fake oxygen in. It should feel totally right to you. It's still a suit, just like you are in space, but it's not.
I don't want to make this worse, but I have to because it's technically canon. As discussed on the lake on Kua, Tamir and Malik can't swim. We come from a planet with no water.
Tal
Great.
has also never tried swimming before.
Great.
I thought the whole
Great!
crew, nobody knew how to swim.
Well, it was
Right.
And that's why we chose not to go into the water.
right, but that was
No,
with
we
Sewell.
tried
We have
not
no,
to go.
we have no idea about KP or about Alia. I assume
Alia knows
KP
how
can
to
swim.
I can.
We're dead.
Always.
I'm going to have everybody make a agility and or dexterity check.
Oh God, no.
Surprisingly, actually, actually. knows
My
how to swim.
best stat.
Oh, I
Which
succeed.
one's agility or what?
Agility or dexterity. I just roll dexterity. It does both.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
One success is still a success.
Fuck.
Great. Okay. The Legionnaires have no problems. They're the single Legionnaire now, and the branch agent have no problem. They actually move on ahead. They have lights on their helmets and one in their hand, and they're beginning to swim down into the darkness. You're beginning to lose sight of them. You may not be able to swim, but the good news is you're not trying to swim to maintain oxygen, which means you can actually just sink. And so Tao and Malik figure that out pretty quickly, that if you just don't fight it and kick your feet down, it actually kind of happens naturally.
Malik learned to swim on the junk planet. That's any excuse I have now.
That's a story that I want to that's a story I want to hear. Is
Well,
the day you
it was
swimming off the junk
a
planet.
rust planet, right? But there was no
Yep.
water on there. So when it rains, it's like monsoon season. It just rains and rains and rains for like a month straight, and everything fills up with water. That's how everything gets rusty.
Can I just say, I just imagine. Do you guys ever see that clip from the old anime show Golden Boy, where he's pretending to swim and all he does is like, and then just like trying to swim, and then at the end he goes, "How's that?" He's all confident.
But I love it.
But I
wanted to share that
imagine that Alia is not used to being in a scuba suit, breathing this kind of fake oxygen in this kind of claustrophobic way. And Tamir, you already made it clear, Tamir hates this. This is not space. This is underwater. It is still pressure, but it's a different kind of pressure. It can replicate and it can feel, but it is not space. Here, gravity is heavier, not lighter. Here, things are just different. And y'all are struggling and you're falling behind. So in order, basically, it's the Legionnaire and the branch agent headed down. Tal, Malik, Tamir, and Alia. As the two of you are kind of like, you know how like when you get underwater you kind of spin? Like you can't get your direction? Correct.
When Tao gets in, I imagine she kind of ends up doing well at this just because she kind of freezes. And then she starts singing and she's like, oh, okay, so this is working. I'm just going to keep not doing anything.
Not doing the thing.
Just don't move. It's working. At one point, I hit my comms and I'm like, hey, just stay still. Stop fighting it.
I mentioned that they hate this.
Oh yeah, there's like an open comms for everybody in your helmet, in your scuba diving helmet.
I'm not a fan either, but if you stay still, you sink faster.
Yeah, okay. Everybody's like, we just gotta get there. We just gotta get there. And you're getting close. You can kind of see the first
Mario
turn
music.
where this
Dun, dun, dun,
this
dun,
cave
dun,
system
dun,
is.
dun, dun,
Um,
dun, 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 dun.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming.
cool. I just want to make sure I got this right. And it takes you a while. In fact, you swim for like 30 minutes to get where you're going. It's quite a swim. For those of you that don't have a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like constitution, or you're not a very stamina-based person, this is probably a very hard swim for you. This is like being somebody giving you a bike and being like, bike 6 miles. It becomes very hard very quickly, and you become extraordinarily winded along the way.
Tamir hates this. Despite working out, this is not what he does or what he knows. Everything in his body is saying, get out, get out, get out. Oy.
Oy, yeah, right. But you finally find what you're looking for. You can see it. You actually hear Nadina come over, like the comm, and she says, "There, do you see it?" And the light kind of pans slowly through the open water, showing you all this cold debris and the dense blue darkness, and it pans across what would have been something possibly shiny at one point. There's like metal down below. And you know what? Y'all gave them to me. We're gonna spend it.
Don't do this stuff.
There are 6 of you.
Not like these.
Not like these. There are 6 of you. I'm gonna go just in order on my screen. Mike, you're 1. Eris, you're 2. Gnome, you're 3. You're 4 for Alia. And then 5 and 6 are Dala and Nadina. If your number comes up, let me know. Eris. This is perfect.
That's me. Great. Yay.
Perfect. Eris, you, Tal is, everything's going fine. There's no, like, warning sign that goes off or anything, but you look down at your oxygen. It's lower than it should be. It's past the halfway point, and you just got here. You're gonna need, like, you shouldn't have passed the halfway point yet. There's a possibility your suit has a leak. Or at least your air tank does, which is gonna be problematic on the way back.
I think my tank has a leak. Oxygen levels are already under half.
What do you mean your tank has a leak?
Just like how casual that was. I'm dying.
I mean, I don't know what you want me to say. It's not, something's wrong.
Let me take a look at it. And can I inspect it?
Yeah, you kind of like the man who couldn't swim now can, as he
Tal kind of goes towards him. I imagine she sticks close by him.
Okay.
Anyways.
Yep.
So they're probably not very far apart.
Would you like me to roll tech or science? Again, they're the same.
In this case, I think it would. I would take either. Genuinely, I would take either. I don't think it really matters.
To me,
you get close and you can see it that the gauge is like vibrating, which tells you that there's an issue, and there is a small crack in the tank, and you can see it's like bubbles are like. Not like it's not like blowing air like that. It's just like the occasional like release of a bubble here. It's a very light crack or in one of the seams, which means she is leaking air.
All right, hang on a second. And whatever he's got on him, whatever's in pouches or what on the suit, I'm gonna go ahead and use my deckhand skill.
Okay.
Where I can basically, or just kidding, gearhead. I can tinker with gear, so I'd like to repair it.
Okay. Do you want to do it that underwater, which will make it more difficult, or do you want to wait till you get where you're going?
Let's do it when we're down there.
Okay. You don't have much farther to go. You see it, you know you can fix it, but you're gonna need, like, to be, you know. And you can see the front end, the bow of the vessel that's been left in orbit has crash landed here in the very bottom of this place. And Nadina says, "What is that?" And she kind of points, and you can see some lights kind of from the inside. Now, this is a massive warship. Like, the tip of this vessel is 3 times the size of the Defiant. Like, this is huge. A huge piece of this ship is down here. And you can see that there's, like, some green glowing light, as if, like, a glow stick or something has been lit up. And Nadina says, take caution. I think I see an air pocket there. And she kind of dives down and underneath and like into the vessel as if there might be a place to like stand or something like that. You can all follow if you would like.
Yeah.
Yep.
While they're following, can Tamir sense anything as far as like artifacts go?
You could sure try.
I would love to try.
I'm always down to give artifacts.
Nope.
Well, they don't have an ROV. They don't have a rove coal.
Is that
you know.
using your glasses?
No. Oh hell no, he's not
Okay,
using his
just
glasses.
double check. Just making
No,
sure.
nope. That's his artificer talent.
Okay. What'd you roll?
That's
Okay.
his special ability.
You
That's
don't
his-
you don't sense anything down here, but then again, this is way out of your element. Like there's just a lot going on, and now you're also worried about Tal. But sure enough, she has found a pocket, and as all you kind of crawl out, you can see that there's a giant air pocket with this vessel's kind of on edge, and the ground is kind of cracked away, the floor here, and it leans to the side. But you see it. Wet footprints that don't belong to you. Somebody has already been here. Or you think somebody's already been here. When all of you kind of crawl your way out of the cold water, you can see Nadina and Dala have already like taken off the swimming booties and they're like loading guns, and they think somebody else is here. It's very clear.
As soon as Tal breaches and gets up on the surface, Tamir's gonna reach out to her to start repairing.
Oh yeah. Did you roll? You rolled a critical. Yeah. On that technology, right? I would say not only do you know how to what is wrong with it, but you can patch it. And so you like reach in and you slap on what is like a steel band-aid basically onto it, which means it's not leaking air anymore, but you can't put more air in it.
Correct. The tank is done, but
yeah, she's about 10% short of what she needs to make it to the surface.
okay.
We gonna be holding our breath and hoping.
Cool. So, the agent, she says, she kind of gets down in a squat and she's like, somebody else beat us here. This could be very bad for us.
Well, very bad or very good. It depends on which way you look at it and what happens when we continue.
Let's hope there are less of them than there are of us. Or at least they're willing to negotiate. Because as per the consortium's salvage directives, they laid first claim to anything that is here. As salvagers, like scavengers, you would know there is a directive that the consortium says, first here, everything on it's yours.
Yeah. Well, lots of things can go wrong down here for them and for us.
Malik was thinking for a second, and then as soon as Tal said that, he like looks at her for a second. Like, did you just low-key code that we can kill them? And then he like, we scanned the surface. There was no other ship.
That we could detect. Our sensors are only so good.
She says not every ship can land on the surface. Who wants to bet that the pirate ship up there has something to do with this? They could have dropped them from the atmosphere. Dropped them in, maybe they plunked right out of the sky. If they came atmosphere level. Who knows? Maybe it's the Order of the Pariah. They were here first, right?
Malik has the classic trademark Malik smirk, and he says, well, piracy isn't salvaging.
And what do you think we are doing?
Commission salvage.
Well, if that's the case and it is commissioned, then we are a little late to salvage anything from here. She says, so let's hope that they're willing to negotiate.
That they didn't survive their initial investigation.
Guess we should go. How big is this ship? section?
It's huge.
Okay.
Like, this chunk alone is the
'Cause
size
this
of
was
a
like
massive cruise ship.
I was say this is a dreadnought, right?
Correct.
The
This is the
Zafirah.
front half of the dreadnought. I would say the front quarter of a dreadnought, or third maybe, that has dipped off. The other back end of it was still floating in space.
I just want to point out, just a side note for people who don't understand why Tal's so cold on this. She grew up exploring new places with her parents as scientists, and she is aware that not every exploration is, fruitful. Sometimes you go into something and you end up dying, and it's not that you did necessarily anything wrong. Shit happens. So it's entirely possible that, yes, somebody came in here, but they've already died. We don't know.
Dot. This is going back a little bit. So, way back, 1 year ago, Malik intercepted and was also given information regarding the Ghazali and the Zafirah, in that he knew there was some shit going down before we actually got there. The Zafirah is a Legion destroyer, and would I be correct in assuming that most Legion destroyers are at least somewhat built to form? Like, they're not all unique, they're all pretty much the same ship?
Map layout, yeah.
Yeah.
They're templated.
Can I, in somewhere in my archives, pull up what the schematics of a Legion destroyer? Because I know we got the blue disc in the bridge or we got the emerald disc in the bridge of the Ghazali cruise ship. So I would assume that the bridge would contain the blue disc here.
Okay. Yes. That seems absolutely correct.
Okay.
That it would be on the bridge, basically. That's where you found the blue disc the last time, or it was supposed to be on the bridge, remember? And then the captain passed it from the bridge back before the bridge, exploded.
Right.
So you would know the blue disc would be in the bridge, which would be at the front of the vessel. So you just need to track your way there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull up, on his little wristwatch, the little wireframe of a Legion destroyer kind of comes up, and he moves it and manipulates this wireframe and kind of just takes a chunk off of it to make it look similar to what we're dealing with, and then isolates wherever the bridge is, and then flattens it back down and sends that to everybody.
Yeah, it kind of pings up and she goes, "Well done." You kind of see Nadina.
Yeah, thanks. Tal, that's the bridge. More than likely the blue disc is going to be there. We don't have captain's codes as far as I know, unless you were given some.
Were we given any?
I don't think we were.
Given any what?
Captain's
codes? Anything to get through?
Yeah, they would have given you a card or something. Actually, they would not have given that to you.
Yeah.
They would have given that to Nadina. But she has what needs to open these military codes to open the doors. So that I would not worry about that.
Okay. Yeah, he just says it out loud. We would need some kind of access codes to get the blue disc.
Okay.
Legion destroyer is a little bit above my expertise. I'm not saying it's not possible, but if you didn't get data codes,
I didn't get any codes in my dossier.
Beep 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 beep. You hear buttons. She goes, "I have the codes." The door open. It lets out frozen fogginess that comes with dry ice, and you can see everything down here is covered in a layer of ice. It's cold. You can even hear it crunching under your feet.
Well,
Leak, do you think any of those dogs survived?
he rubs his shoulder. I hope not, man. Maybe they're not good in frozen atmospheres. What the hell was her name, Tal?
Nadina?
Yeah. Nadina. This is gonna sound morbid. I don't care. 1/3 of your crew is already dead or missing, or
He's drunk. Why
An
would you
asshole.
think he's dead?
because the ship registered 6 life forms instead of 7, or 7 instead of 8. Anyway, you're the only one with codes. Can you set up a backup plan in case you also die, disappear, get drunk, something?
Are you expecting me to die?
I really hope not, because then we're just
She
trapped on
says,
an ice planet.
You're acting rather you're acting rather suspicious, Malik. Thank you. That looks good.
You've known me for all of 5 hours outside of cryo. You have no idea whether I'm acting suspicious or not.
She goes, I've dealt with many men in my day.
I don't see
In
how
fact,
that's
I dealt with
relevant.
one just a few hours ago. She goes,
I heard about it.
I can read you. I can't give you military access codes if that's what you're asking. So, no.
Okay. Great. That's recorded on the suit. So if you die and mission fails, then we can just play that back. All right.
Nobody is dying. She says again a little bit louder as if to make her point clear. Nobody is dying.
Man,
Would
well,
anybody like to roll an empathy check to see why she seems so very adamant about that?
Malik does not give a shit.
Yeah.
Alia
I was
definitely.
very interested.
Yeah, so is Alia.
I
Okay.
got a limit success.
Okay.
That was with
Okay.
3 die, y'all.
Yay!
So the two of you may even look at each other. She's being weird. Every time he mentions people dying, she keeps reiterating that nobody's going to die, that that's not happening, as if she doesn't want y'all thinking about that. But that's about all you get. It is very strange. It's kind of odd, all in all.
Just saying, if you've seen half the shit we've seen, you'd have an abundance of caution. But that's all right. Either way.
She says, I have seen half the shit you've seen and more.
Malik looks to Tal and Tamir and goes, oh, all right.
Y'all haven't been honest with her about like who you are and what you do, so she
That's
don't know
fine.
any better.
That's
she thinks
fine.
y'all a bunch of weak ass space punks.
Pal would like to keep it that way.
Maybe it is to your benefit. She doesn't find you a threat, I guess you could say. And she says, "Oh, look! As you kind of enter this next space, you can see there are 2 frozen bodies. They're not decomposing, but they are very dead. Here. How evil do I want to be?
Very, Dot. You have like 1,700.
Yeah,
darkness
use some of those darkness points. Let's go. I don't have a lot of corruption bars tonight, so fuck us up. This is all you.
All right.
I mean, it's true. It's the first time we ever haven't had like 7 corruption bars. Where
It's true,
where the
it's
chat
true.
the chat hasn't tried to kill us yet, so you get to try to kill us.
All right. All right, fine.
The chat is just trying to help us get like whittle down some of the darkness points so
That's
that
true.
we can build them up again when we inevitably
Right.
fail the rolls that we're about to make.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. The door opens up and you can see these 2 bodies. They are laid out in a very odd way. Their mouths like open, unnaturally so, hanging to the side. They're kind of like, one of them is well, yeah, they're frozen. So like one of them was like shielding themselves when they died, but I guess somebody can roll a metacurgy check if you want to try, or at least an observation.
Oh, you know what? I have that.
If you want to try to figure out how they might have died.
Yeah, he'll bend down and take a look at these peoplesicles. 2 limited
Okay.
success.
Wow, they are frozen now, but they weren't frozen. That's not how they died. They didn't die of hypothermia. It seems that they died of blood loss, from the massive like gouge wounds across their chest. There's a black kind of ickiness that sits just underneath a layer of ice covering their body around the wounds.
Dot. As someone who is familiar with what the hell are those things called? The Tanakra, Katara.
Are those the doggies?
the dog monster things, the werewolf monster things.
This is not that.
Mm.
In fact, you've seen this before.
Okay,
You know
great.
exactly what this is.
Awesome.
This is the last time you saw this was in Hamura. At a mass grave site.
Oh, I wouldn't have seen that then.
You were there
and-
for that.
In Hamura?
Yeah, when you guys went, you went. No, I'm sorry, in Talon, not Hamura.
I didn't go in the
Talon.
mine.
Then you don't know. What
Malik
this
didn't
is.
go in the mine.
Then you have no idea.
Oh, you know what? That's not. Malik also treated Tamir and Tal, so he would have seen the
There-
wound on them.
Then you would know that these are the very similar wounds to the ones that they had. These, it just happens to be frozen over, and they died of them.
Malik is like manipulating this frozen corpse as best he can, and he looks up to Tal and says, "Tal, what's the armor rating on the scuba suits?"
I, as a player, do not know, but Tal
There
would
is
immediately answer, none. This is for environmental protection.
Great.
Why?
Nadina, how many bodies can a Legion destroyer hold?
Well, if it's a full destroyer, a couple hundred.
Let's go with a couple hundred. Mining colony, and he looks to Tal. Mm-hmm.
She just kind of like waves her arms a little bit because she has. She's like, "What do you want me to do?"
I'm just letting you know.
Nadina
Aurora.
goes,
Right.
well, she kind of kicks their foot, and she goes, well, whatever it was, they're dead now. Looks like, she kind of looks their clothes over and, like, lifts a very cold arm that, like, crunches, you know, like with the ice, and she says, ah, and points to a tattoo, like, on their side or something, and says, pirate. They've been branded.
I'm sorry, did you mention how long these have been dead? Would I be able to
Have I
tell
sobered
with
them
with limited
They're
success?
They're frozen. The chances are
They're
we wouldn't be
frozen.
able to actually tell.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to tell with them being frozen. No,
long
what you
enough
can
for
tell
them to
yeah.
freeze over.
Yeah,
Which
but on this
a body
yeah.
here to freeze over could take less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'll tell you this. If these are the same pirates that were bugging you earlier, it's a 3-day trip from there to here.
And we had
So
a
if
head
they sent
start.
like a scouting party out here, bare minimum, it's been 3 days since the pirates have seen them. Right? So they might have like gone on a scouting party and not come back.
I have a question because I don't remember what exactly it was that attacked us in what I don't remember. Tal
Remember
would.
the
The
dark
Bakor.
they're called yeah,
The
they're
Bakor.
the zombies.
the zombies.
Oh,
the
okay,
ones
right,
that with like the black smoky ones that like ripped Sewell open, or was it Tamir? I can't remember.
Tamir and Tal both got
No.
shot. Oh no, Tamir and Sewell, you're right.
No.
I mean
it was,
Sewell
yeah,
and Tal. Wow,
it was
Jesus.
Sewell and Tal, and they poisoned them. And if they were to
Right.
be fully encompassed with that poison,
Mhm.
that would not
Right.
be good.
I'm gonna
That's
say, well, whatever killed them, kind of looks like people. If you see somebody around here and they're moving, chances are they're probably actually dead. And if they get their hands on you, they're gonna poison you and kill you too.
You can hear there's like a moment of like everything but a
Tal looks dead serious.
The whole crew has to look dead serious.
she kind of looks over to Dal and she
Except
goes,
for
hey.
Alia, who has no idea what's happening.
Well, I mean, considering that with her adventures, she would definitely
it's
have
true, yeah,
seen
yeah.
things
You've
like
probably
this.
seen
And at
some
least
crazy
the
things.
lore too.
Yeah,
of
the
it.
lore of specifically of the of mass grave sites, rays,
Yeah.
and strange things happen when they're unattended, when bodies aren't given proper rest, right?
Yeah, I would
the
imagine
dark-
actually that
yeah.
would be something that Alia would actively do if she did come across like a body that's not properly taken care of, like give their last rites and.
I imagine that
passages.
you and Sholey have done that many a time
Mhm.
throughout the decades together.
Yep.
Or the years together. So As you stroll through, you know what? I'm gonna let her roll this observation because she's got a hella better observation than I think all of you.
Yeah. The whole time, Tal's essentially now ready for anything. Eye on.
Yes.
While Nadina is leading the group, Malik is gonna, like, after we leave these bodies, Malik is gonna hang back and, like, kind of put a hand on Giant Lady's elbow, on Alia's elbow, as she towers over him, in like a hang back a second kind of motion. Look, I know you're you don't do violence or whatever. I don't know what you do, really, other than the whole tea thing. I'm not trying to be rude. How do I explain this? The dead came back to life and attacked us.
Those are. Oh.
Does that make sense?
I see you've met them as well.
Yeah. So those two have the same poisonous marks as one would get from the dead coming back to life. I don't know if you can do anything other than punch them. Shooting seems to work kind of. Stabbing also kind of. But the last time we saw them, there was a lot of them. Like, everyone that was dead became one. And if this ship can hold potentially a couple hundred.
We need to be very careful.
Yeah. Just
Quick
figured you should
question,
know.
Dot, would Alia know how to battle these things? Because like just using mystical powers, would that be something she'd be able to help with?
They are basically zombies is a kind of interesting term because they're not really properly undead. What it is the darkness. The darkness wraps itself around the souls of these people.
Mm-hmm.
And
They're like
uses
possessed corpses.
Yeah, they're like
Right.
possessed corpses, basically. They're not terribly hard to kill, but it's like any zombie. One's not a problem. A lot of them, problem, right? So I imagine in the past you've come across mass graves like this before. Sholey has told you that there are some mass grave sites specifically in space that, like, there's a reason you don't go onto giant destroyers left floating in space because you're not going to find anything good there. You can't fix it. You can't solve it. There's no exorcism to be done. But light, right? They are made of the darkness. They cling to the shadows to actually move. So that's something to think about is light as a way to kind of keep them at bay. But basic weapons will work against them, from what you can tell.
So she would know about the light. Is aside from just like your typical like flashlight torches, could mystic abilities be used to produce light at all in certain ways, or is that just something that's
You would need a special mystic power for that.
Okay.
Like, you actually have to have a power for it.
got it?
I mean, but light can be made lots of different ways. Here, it's just very cold, and there's very little oxygen.
Okay. So I do relay that to Malik. So I tell her, so aside from physical force, they are creatures of the darkness, and therefore light is their enemy. If we want to prevent a firefight, if we wish to keep them at bay, or at least create some sort of a barrier around us, light is our key.
Well, I mean, as the only person objecting to stabbing and shooting, I'm open to your suggestions for light.
I'm assuming we have like flashlights or some kind of like glow sticks.
Yeah,
that
you
are-
have you have glow sticks that you can like toss about here. You'll have like a light, like a headlamp light, which is really used for like underwater, and then y'all have like two handheld big flashlights that you use to like beam through the empty water.
Alio just lifts that up, turns it on, and shows him that, and then just walks forward.
All right.
Imagine Alia and Tamir the ones are the light bearers.
Mm-hmm.
And as you all move forward, she
Tamir's
keeps
killed a guy.
point. Tamir killed a guy. She keeps point, and to make sure that you don't get ambushed because she has that ability. And it seems pretty smooth. And she says, "That's strange." And she kind of pans the light across the dark area. It doesn't. It should ping through to the opposite side of that room, but it's like it hits something dark, like not something small, like this whole section. And she goes, "That's so weird. Do you see that?" And she comes and she kind of walks a little bit closer and fans the light across the space, and it's like it hits black darkness. She's like, "What is that?"
Is this Nadina?
Mm-hmm.
Alio immediately says, "Stand back."
She takes a few steps back, listening to you. It doesn't have data gen rolls. She said she needs somebody to run, like, who's got a diagnostic option? I guess a scientist would, or engineer might. Run a science check. Okay. This doesn't look like scary darkness. I mean, it is all very scary down here, period. But this seems to be more like stealth technology. It's hiding something. A successful data gen roll might be able to say, I don't know, turn that off.
Are there terminals around?
Everything here's broken, though. There's no power to anything.
So I have to find the source of that to turn it off.
You mean the stealth module?
Yeah.
Like whatever this is stealthing?
Yeah.
You can rightfully assume if the rest of this ship there's no power that's like happening to it, that it's a self-made source.
Right, but I had to find the actual source to, like, I couldn't Wi-Fi turn it off, right?
I see what you're saying. Do you have any of your gear with you?
Yeah, I have all my gear with me. It's all pretty much handheld.
You would have your security tablet.
Yeah. Okay. Usually it plugs into stuff.
It's like a security blanket only.
Yeah, only my tablet. Man, too bad the crawler wasn't underwater. That'd be cool. Oh, you know what I'll do? Okay, you know what? Malik reaches behind him and pulls out his, or from the holster rather, on his hip. He pulls out his Vulcan cricket, and you see him unload the energy cartridge or whatever it is, and like clips it somewhere, and then reaches through another bag and clips in another one, which looks completely different from the last one, and he fires it into the room. And it is, and then you see him fire again, but not a second round doesn't come out. You just hear a poof in the room. And I ignite one of my ballistic cartograph rounds. So it fires in, it detonates, and then it reads me back a display of what's in the room.
Interesting. So you fire this up and into this probably the darkest room you've been in thus far. Your light does not go very far. And as you fire this off, first off, the first round hits this energy shield just like a stealth shield or like a protective shield would. It hits and it like ripples against it. And that seems odd. And then as the second one's fired off and it rains down and you start to get the readout as it like mist on top of this. And it reads out, you can see the entirety of this room. First off, the ceiling has been bridged. Like, has been broken in. This room is like you're probably near this, what would be the centermost portion of the front end of this ship, which is where you need to go for the bridge. Y'all are headed that direction. It looks like something crashed through here. And whatever that thing that crashed through is in front of you behind this energy shield or this stealth shield. And it's creating like mass blackness, so in this darkness it's hard to see it, but when you like lit everything up, you can see this massive ship that has like nose first dove into and is behind this stealth shield that you would have to try to bring down.
Well, I found the pirates.
Nadina goes, I've never seen stealth technology like that on a pirate ship. Because you can see it, like when your first blast hit it, like rippled out and absorbed the energy. It seems rather high tech.
Well, then either they're very advanced pirates or they weren't pirates.
She goes, then what were they?
Above my pay grade.
She says, well, can you bring the shield down?
I could try. And he's going to... Do I have to get to the actual ship inside, Dot?
No.
Okay.
You can try with a high enough roll. You can do it from out here, like remote, basically.
Yeah.
Because what you're trying to do is tap into its
Yeah.
computer system and try to take over.
Okay.
Which is with a high enough roll, you can do this.
Sure.
Oh, hold on. Do we need to bring the shield down?
So I guess we don't have.
We know
to.
it's there. We don't need to uncloak it.
We have to go through.
It is blocking our way. I guess we could try to go around it.
Okay. While you're in there, see if you can find anything out about this ship.
All right.
Like, whose it is. That's a
Alright.
good start.
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna hack the world.
Okay.
Limited success.
Okay, so first thing, you start to hack and you struggle just a little bit
Mm-hmm.
because their computer system that you managed to tap into is not like anything you've ever seen before, except once. Going through files, critical files that you pulled on the Hammurabi station, ancient files from the First Horizon, and you managed to tap in, and it takes you a second, and you finally get the shield brought down, and as it slowly dissipates and fades away, all of you in front of you see something you never thought you'd see. A ship. A giant white butterfly. A second one. That clearly crashed directly into this vessel, bringing it down over a year ago and whatever happened inside of that Towan incident. It stands right before you. It still has a low light energy level on it. And kind of, like I said, it's kind of crashed face first, and you see Dala like look wide-eyed, and Nadina looks at all of you and she goes, "What is that? I've never seen a ship like that before."
Couldn't tell you.
Some answers you don't want. Any life forms on board?
Not from what I scanned.
Not from what you can tell.
Aurora,
Yeah?
what do you make of this?
Strange ship. It's what they call a white butterfly. Aptly named for its wings and build. I actually have a picture of what it looks like. Check it out. They actually have a schematic of it. So this is like an overhead
that's
schematic.
So cool.
It's a rather small ship, and this is what it looks like in flight.
Malik is intently scrolling down the data pad in his arm.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him like scroll, and then he like looks up and just smiles at anyone who's looking and double taps it, and then it plays "I've seen everything you've seen and more."
She turns around and looks back, and she's like, "I'm beginning to figure out why they hired the four of you. It seems you're full of all kinds of knowledge." She gestures for it. There's like a crack and opening in it, and she says, "After all of you, since you know so much."
Alia just chimes up. We are a pretty good junk ship.
Yes, a
And
junk
walks
ship.
forward.
And as all four of you kind of slowly creep into the entrance of this crashed white butterfly that's inside of this other ship.
I will take point on this.
Yeah, you've never seen anything like this. This ship is so unique, and you see Dala kind of turn and look. The camera sees Dala and take a look at the special agent, branch agent, and the agent goes, "You know they know too much." And Dala's like, "Look, all you have to do is give me the order." And she says, "Well, let's see what they find first." And she steps in behind all of you. And that's where we're going to end tonight, as you enter this crashed white butterfly. Because we're out of time. We'll have to see what you find next week.
Bitch. All right. guys, come back tomorrow. We're playing Void.
It's 5 days a week, Void all day.
All day, every day.
All right, this has been another episode of Void, Season 3. This is, man, the 7th episode of Season 3, which means we're closing in on the finale. So, hope you've been paying attention. It's going to be crazy. 4 seasons and a movie is what I heard. So let's go around, do our outroductions so that we can get the hell out of here and do the after show for you patrons. And again, if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, join us on Patreon. Link for that down below. And while you're down there, join us on the Discord and be a part of the conversation. But for now, let's start with KP. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
Hello, everybody. I'm KP. And you can find me on the interwebs as KP Living Studios on Twitter, Twitch, all the other social medias. I do streaming on my own channel. So if you want to see me play video games, if you want me to do any culture related stuff related to Indian mythology, any of that related stuff, come check me out there. I practically live on Twitter. So if you want to interact or see what I'm up to, that's where I'll be. And yeah, if you want to support me, to check out our Patreon. I have some Patreon exclusive shows that I do on there. I'm also making it so that all my streams have an extra Patreon exclusive hour to it. So if you want to catch some of those exclusive contents, it's only $3 a month. So check it out.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, with all of that being said, oh, and also you get a bunch of behind the scenes perks and early access to all my photo edits that I do. So if you want to check those out, I know I showed the crew a couple of the ones I've been working on. So if they look nice to them, they'll let you know.
They do.
They sure do.
Can confirm.
They sure as hell
But
do.
yes, that is where I'm at.
Perfect. With that, we'll go over to Gnome. Who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
My name is Gnome. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You can come hang out and wake the fuck up with me and Eris Savad, as well as Wally132 over on Twitter, for a morning talk show called Gnome Brew, where we do whatever the fuck we want. We're literally just trying to wake up. That's it. And you wake up with us. Thursdays, I'm back here. We're gonna go back into space. We're gonna pick some daisies, and then Friday.
Wow.
Friday, we're gonna go back into more space over on my channel, where we're gonna be Space Bears playing Starfighter. So
I'm
super stoked for that.
I'm excited for that.
I'm very
excited
excited for that.
Unlike Farouk, who's having a drink with no one, as Gnome said on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can have a drink with our next player over here. Tal, who are you, or can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
That was actually a really good segue. Good job.
Well done, Mike.
You get finger guns. for
Hell
that
yeah, I
one.
do.
Hi, I'm Eris Savad. I make things. You can find the things that I make at erissavad.com. You can find me on Twitter at Stitched by Eris. You can find Gnome pretending to be me on Instagram at Stitched by Eris. I have coffee with him Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and yeah, that's basically all. I don't have anything going on right now, really, aside from
Perfect.
Space Bears and this. I'm okay with that.
I mean, that was a bunch of things.
Yeah.
And last, but definitely not least, today, Dot, who are you, where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Hi, friends. I'm Dot. I roll dice and tell stories all over the place. I produce a lot of TTRPG content. You can check me out over at Cobalt Press, where I am the Twitch producer, which is pretty cool. I've got some things coming up in April on my own personal Twitch channel, so I'll be bringing on some new TTRPG there. I've got a very exciting Fate campaign, so keep your ear to the ground on that. And when I'm not doing that, I'm producing a pretty sweet podcast called Stitch of Fate. You can find us at Pod by Night. We are in the middle of season 2, and things are... Oh boy. Vampires, drama, thirstiness. It's great. And
multiple kinds of thirstiness.
multiple kinds of thirstiness. And Gnome edits that podcast, which is pretty cool too. So you can come hear Gnome's sweet editing skills, as he makes us sound much better than we actually do.
I mean, maybe. That's it from us. Thank you for being here. This is super awesome. And as always, thank you for supporting this show. This season 3 is at the behest of you, the community, for helping us fund on coffee and getting us out here with extended episodes, a podcast, all kinds of cool stuff. Podcast coming soon. And you know, who knows? Maybe a season 4. We'll see. That being said,
We're gonna have to. We're only like through the first act of this module, y'all.
I mean, we only did one out of
You
the
heard
3.
it from Dot. Looks like we're gonna have to.
We
Like,
only did one
well-
of 3 chapters of the first book, Dot.
Yeah, like God, it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna be fine. Once
Hey.
I
Hey,
There's just
Freely.
too much drama.
got plans. There is far too much drama, and well, we'll talk about it in the after show.
If you guys want in season 4, tell Free League to sponsor us.
Yeah, we need Free League to like bite. Hey, Free League.
Come on.
Free League,
yeah.
sup?
Don't maybe send Farouk after you, Free League.
Sup? What's happening right now? With that,
G, where
That
are
is
you? Where are you, G?
we're done. We're out of
That is
here.
not trying
this.
to woo.
With that,
Yes.
Stream is buffering a lot.
with that, we're
Please.
out of here. We will see you guys next week, and from all of us to you, bye bye.
That is now on the internet.